Now we are live. I forgot that button. Okay, we are trying something new today. Welcome to the show. We're, of course, last minute playing around with new technology and giving it a shot. Welcome.
Hi,
Yes,
guys.
very itchy. Yeah, I knew somebody was going to bring it up.
Nobody has said anything
They will,
about
eventually.
you're the only one that has mentioned your beard.
Oh, it's coming soon. Give it a minute. Somebody will say it. No, they
Nobody's
will.
talking about your beard.
It's on the
now
way.
everybody's going to talk about
Glasses
your
are
beard.
dirty. Yeah.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Happy first day of spring.
Yes, very springy.
It
yes.
was a very good first day of spring.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was an interesting day. You know.
Well, the weather was nice.
Yes, it was 50-ish, 55.
It was nice.
We didn't even ask them if they could hear us. Welcome to the show.
I'm figuring if they're
Everybody-
not like, we can hear you, and everybody's freaking out, I'm pretty sure they can hear us.
We should create a Q&A rule that our villagers will understand, and the new people will be like, why is everybody doing that? 2 thumbs up, meaning one is good for audio, the other is good for video. Like, we see you and we hear you. And then just at the beginning of the show, we just start seeing a bunch of 2 thumbs ups, and everybody's going to be like,
and then we have a code.
it's like if
So,
you know what
yeah.
that means, you're a part of the village. If you don't know what that means, you're not a part of the village yet.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, they'll quickly learn.
They'll quickly learn, right?
See?
See?
Dreamy Genie was the first
On
one.
it. Look
2
at that.
thumbs up.
There they go. Now,
One
I'm
for
going
audio,
to
one for
attempt
video.
to see if I can figure out how to use our new technology here.
Oh, good.
All live with you guys.
Because there's no pre-planning. I know you guys watch some shows that actually are a little produced, and they seem a whole lot more professional than we do.
Right. And I did learn our new technology. I have audio in my ear.
Like that you can hear us?
So what I'm hearing right now is what they're hearing. So me talking right now, like test,
that's going to drive me
it
nuts.
is kind of weird.
Hold on.
Whoa.
What does the 4 thumbs up?
That,
Maybe audio, video. Liz looks good. Aaron looks good.
that could be it. That could be it.
Check.
Yeah. So next time we're going to see audio, video, Liz, Aaron, get rid of the beard. That's what we're going to see.
The beard cannot go until Harper has her beard.
Yeah, I think for the first time in my life, I have more facial hair than my brother.
Oh, I thought you were going to say more than me.
Oh, stop it. No, I wasn't going there.
Oh, man.
No. Yeah, so I'm hearing the delay.
Okay, that's annoying.
Very
Can you go back to our normal?
Yes, you want to see that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, how's everybody else's week on? I'll just wait for your response. He's clicking too many buttons over here, and I can tell he's...
I'm trying to stop hearing myself.
That's
talking in
what
my
I mean.
ear.
I can tell you are...
Okay, good. I'm back.
Oh,
What?
Dorian's like, you forgot to change your clock. We did.
Oh my gosh, and our audio is way too loud, guys. That they lied. They told us audio was good. We were peaking red the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah.
We forgot to change our clock.
We have to change the clock?
Yeah, that's what I just
let's
said.
change the clock. Our villagers. Oh, what a view. What a
Drop
view.
this on
That
my
was a great
head.
view. Yep. All right.
Okay,
So
an hour ahead.
how do we do that?
You just
Oh,
click the
hang
thing.
on. Here we go.
Yep.
Here we go.
You gotta spin it the right direction.
Oh, they can see because they're watching from up
Right.
there.
You gotta spin. Yep, that way.
There we go. What
Hold on.
time is it?
I don't know.
Help us out. See the villagers. Helped us change the
Okay.
clock.
7:05.
7:05. There we go. Hanging it back up.
All right.
We'll keep it on that view so you guys don't see my
Just
butt.
drop it on my head.
I'm not going to drop
Somebody
it.
send help.
Help.
Help me.
Oh, I'm never going to get this lined up now. All right, hold on. You talk to them for a minute.
Okay, well, they're up there in the corner.
Yeah, you're going to have to hit a button. You can reach over there and hit a button.
Whew.
I'll fix this.
What is it, cam 1?
Yeah, cam 1. Go to 1.
Okay, but then when you go to sit down,
There. Good.
your
You're
tushy
good.
will be on the camera.
You could also go to that cam, too. Uh-oh. My phone is blowing up because I forgot to silence it.
Surprise.
Surprise. Okay, hang on.
Shocker.
Hang on. All right, so welcome back. Oh, you know what that was?
No.
That was our special guest.
We have a special guest tonight. We do.
Oh, no, that was one of our COVID crew had a fridge emergency, and their new fridge is cooling down right now.
They were able to
I guess
Identify a problem, go buy a fridge, and get back all within
That's-
like the last 2
that's-
hours.
key right there. They solved it
Wow.
and they fixed it all that quickly. Yes,
Wow.
they did.
Well, they're better than us, because I would not have gotten that.
Right.
Okay.
So you can't, just so we all know, you can't invite a special guest on your show without sending them the invite. It's okay. We're good. See, I notified a problem, solved it, and we're moving on. We're good. Yeah. Welcome to the show. It's pretty much like this every Saturday.
Wow.
So how was everybody's weekend and weekend?
I
And
already-
obviously Val, you know, she's here for
the bet.
that
For
for the
Izzy.
bet. Oh, that's
Izzy, JoJo,
that's the-
Scout,
that's the fun.
Thornton.
Yeah, so some
Who's it
people,
gonna be?
if you haven't been here, some people are betting on which one's going to jump out of the hole first.
Okay, well, these aren't real bets, although Val's
Val's, I guess,
just
is.
turned into a real bet.
Yeah, but I'm not paying like 2-1. You know,
No,
we're
this
not-
is not like
it-
Vegas over here.
Yeah, you know, like roulette,
What is
which
wrong
is like 35-1 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah,
Oh man,
what a week.
Yeah.
It's been a crazy
it's
week.
been
Yeah,
crazy here.
yeah, it has. So we actually kind of had a topic for today's show, sort of. Today's
Yeah.
good old hang on the couch with the village during Q&A. Obviously, if you have any questions,
Well,
you
we'll
can
take
ask.
questions kind of after we
Later.
talk about what
Yeah,
we kind of want to talk about.
yeah. Now it's not a good question.
I think it's important, and we had a little bit of like a. Oh, it's a phone bet.
oh no!
Oh, you just cost
Aaron-
people money
Actually, I
because
just
you didn't
made
turn
money.
your phone off.
Yep.
See? Oh goodness. Yeah. So earlier in the week, should we throw up some like thank yous
Yeah.
For-
Let me take care of the
for
thank you.
Val
I'm
and
going back. I'm
for
going back.
Rosemary, who apparently lost a bet?
They
or-
lost it.
I don't. It's still
Okay,
happening.
So what I just noticed is I didn't hear that. Oh, because it came through the headphones. So we didn't hear that.
No, you didn't. But your
Right.
phone is still
Okay,
vibrating,
that's
making
fine.
a nuisance all over.
Yeah. Okay. So hang on. Okay. Good. Yep. So yeah, you were saying it was
I don't
been
know
a
what
crazy
I was saying.
week.
No,
it's been a wild ride,
Yeah.
and we were gonna talk about something.
Yeah.
I don't
So,
know. Questions later.
every once in a while, well, I think we have a strong focus on mental health in general on our channel. We don't really sugarcoat things.
No,
We talk about it all, the good, bad, the ugly.
all the time.
Not all just about like farm animals, but we're people too, and we have families and kids and a lot going on, and
Right.
everybody I feel like is struggling or has hit that point in their COVID, their year with COVID.
Yeah.
You hit this point, and drop it below if you want to
Below. She means in chat.
in chat.
Yeah.
If you want to
And
say
we'll
like
get to all the thank yous in a little bit.
how long into COVID did you hit your wall, your
Oh.
brick wall?
You're like, enough's enough. They
Enough's
said
enough.
2-3 weeks. It's been 2-3 months now. I think. Do you want me to
Well,
answer?
it's been a year.
Now it's been a year, right?
Yeah.
You want me to answer?
Yeah.
I mean, I think we started COVID with, okay, we can do this lockdown. Hey, let's go every day. Let's do an everyday update, right? And we
Right.
did that.
Day 1, day 2.
Oh my gosh! By the time we got to day 30, I was like, yeah, no, this is not continuing.
Mhm.
And at that day 30, it's like, okay, we're a month, and then unemployed, got laid off, and then it turned into, okay, new focus, laser focus, build a business. What do we need to do? If it doesn't make us money or save us money, I'm not buying it. You need new underwear? Nope, sorry, doesn't make me or save me money. Like we got down like rice and beans. Like, nope, let's go sloppy joes. I made sloppy joes. I haven't made sloppy joes in forever, and the kids wanted it, so we made it. But I mean, that wall, I want to say January, which is weird.
A couple months ago.
Just a couple months ago, because it's like building up for a vacation. You're planning, you're doing this, you're doing that. We're planning, we're building for Black Friday, for the holiday season. This is the first year. We own a business. We're building for the holiday season. We're gonna have a holiday season. Great. January, our website didn't exist. Like the sales on our website in January were pathetic, but that's kind of normal.
Yeah.
But it was bad because you got that terminology, living paycheck to paycheck. But when you're living sales to bills, yeah, Black Friday holiday was good. But then January and February, it's like, did we save any of that Black Friday holiday? Like, that's when it hit. Like, for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I hit the wall maybe a month or two after you got laid off.
Yep.
I realized, I felt, for the first time in my life, I felt the pressure of being a breadwinner. I've never done that.
Nope.
Being a stay-at-home mom, and they're hearing buzzing.
They're hearing buzzing.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see if I can.
We've had buzzing in the past before, too. I don't know how to fix it.
Yeah. Let's do something like that and tell me if it goes away. Tell me if it goes away. And if it doesn't and it says still here, I've got another option.
So yeah, it was a couple months into after your layoff.
Yeah.
Layoff. So yeah, it's just been a hard time.
I made another change on the buzzing, so it might have gone away. I saw it. No.
Some people say it went away. Some people said it's still here. So yeah, I think everybody hits their wall at different times during this COVID thing. And are you paying attention?
Yep.
You're
Everybody hits their wall from time to time. Yep. I think it's good now. I think we're okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, everybody's hitting their walls at different times of COVID.
Totally. Yeah.
And this past week, Jake has struggled with his mental health the last several years.
Mm-hmm.
And a few years ago, for those who don't know the story, a few years ago, Mother's Day weekend, just after Mother's Day weekend, he did some time in the hospital to focus on his mental health, and then spent the summer in an intensive partial hospitalization program. And then has been doing, therapy once a week, throughout the last several years.
Mm-hmm.
He hit his wall this week with COVID. He's done. He's over it. He's like, I want to go back to school. I miss my friends. I feel like I don't have a life. I just, he hit a dark place.
Yep.
So he had to go back to the hospital. Not like inpatient hospital.
Not inpatient.
He did have to go to the emergency room to do, kind of like a wellness check and talk with the hospital doctors there who got him set up with, he's back in partial hospitalization. So he's doing an intensive program there. And, we're really kind of telling Jake, sometimes you take 2 steps forward and 1 step back. And he took a lot of steps forward, I feel.
Oh, yeah.
And now he took a step back, maybe 2 steps back.
And some of those steps back are not your fault. That's what we're trying to say. Like, some things are out of your control. Like, COVID is out of your control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's, I told him too, like, this is a time when there's periods of your life where you're going to hit these walls. And these are the moments where if you look at it the right way and you use these times, you can actually experience the most amount of growth.
Yeah.
You can grow so much during these hard times. But you have to pay attention and recognize, like, okay, here it comes. It's hitting me.
Yeah.
And recognize when to reach out for help. And he reached out for help in a teenager kind of way.
Yep.
And thankfully, the right people were listening.
Yeah, I just have to say, when a teenager cries out for help, publicly,
Yeah.
and the other teenager friends take it seriously, that's amazing, because that's how it happened. I mean, for those of you that, cries out for help on a social media, and instantly the other teenager friends are like, whoa, that's not cool. And
that's not normal, and that's scary.
Right. Like, you don't say that.
Yeah.
And then everybody gets involved, police, all that stuff. Like, everybody's like, we just saw this, like, what's going on, wellness check, like, boom, boom, boom.
Well, and the role of a good friend is to recognize when something's not quite right and to know what to do with that.
Right.
And they knew what to do with it, and somehow, I don't even know how, it got reported to the school, who then tried to reach out to us. We couldn't be contacted because I work in a dungeon.
Right. We were making soap, big day, 300 pounds of soap in one day. And to put that in perspective,
it was 1,200 bars.
1,200 bars. We normally make
about 200.
200 bars, which is like 80 pounds.
Yeah.
A typical soap day is 80 pounds. This was a 300-pound day.
Yeah.
So a lot of logistics, a lot of timing, a lot of, lotion room all day, all of us. And you don't get much cell coverage down there. So, but they got a hold of us.
So, yeah.
Yep.
So that was our week.
And that's what kind of triggered, but not only triggered the mental health moment we did with the new technology we have with our cameras in the barn. Some of you noticed that we got a lot of positive responses via email, text, messages, whatever. Like, good for you for turning the cameras off and not telling us why. Mm-hmm. Like, we don't need to know, even though we talked to Jake about this literally an hour ago, and our special guest for their story about knowing when you need to take care of yourself.
It's the whole self-care thing.
It goes back to that. Something's not right, and I have to figure this out.
It's, for Jake, it's not that easy.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think anytime, whether you've been touched by mental health personally, right? Or if you're somebody who loves somebody who's struggling with their mental health, there comes a time where you just have to step back and say, I need a moment. Yep. So Monday night in the barn was kind of like our time where, like, our whole support system was here for us and here for Jake. And we just needed the time in the barn to just be with the babies, who thankfully we have so much happiness and joy in the barn right now, mm-hmm. with it being spring and all the babies are here. Like, that gave us an outlet to really kind of let go of some heaviness. Right.
And you and your girlfriends were here to support you with what was going on with Jake and Rob, and showed up, and we were like, you know what? We want to be able to say whatever we want to say in the barn. And with the new technology, we can allow the village to continue to chat to each other and just kill the video and the audio, and obviously change the words on the screen all in a matter of seconds, and then walk to our barn in, private, basically. So we were able to do it. We talked about it internally inside, like, look, this is what I want to do. I could either unplug it completely and it goes down, but we were like, no, this village means a lot to so many. Let's just kill the audio, kill the video, put up a little message. It's going to cause confusion. What's going on? Oh my God.
You know what, though? I peeked in on chat afterwards, and the moderators reported back too. Y'all just took it in stride. And then we got messages of, like, good for you. I think mental health, it's really important to talk about, because it's another step towards normalizing mental health. Right. Because I don't know very many people who aren't touched by mental health in some capacity.
Yep.
And I think it's important to recognize it, talk about it, normalize it, so that people don't have to suffer in silence. Because that's what has been happening up until now. And what I'm so proud of are, for the Jake's generation, his friends, at least. I don't know very many people in generation. Okay, self-admittedly, I have a core group of his friends that we know, and they all talk openly. anytime Jake is streaming on his Xbox or he's playing with his friends and he's, having that connection there, if it's time for therapy, he goes, gotta go. It's time for my therapist. Yeah. And he doesn't have to say it like that.
Nope.
He could be like, oh, I have an appointment. I have to go.
Right.
And kind of like hide the fact that he's doing therapy. But I think it's normal. I think it's normal for him to say it like that. Mm-hmm. And what's important about that is that if he's so candidly talking about it, say he's talking to somebody who's not used to hearing somebody just blurt it out like, got therapy now. If and when the time ever comes that maybe that friend or a friend of that friend's starts talking in a way where they need therapy, they need some counseling, it's already in their mind. Like that's something that Jake deals with so normally. It must be normal. Right. It must be fine. And not have that whole stigma of, I got to be a guy. I got to be a man. I need to be strong about this and not voice what's going on. Like, it's okay. Yeah. Which brings us to our next talking point. It's not always just about the mental side, the mental health, but it's also about the physical health. And there's the same kind of warning signs that you get leading up to something that could be bigger. Like you wouldn't ignore your depression, right? Because that can build and build and build to something more serious. Just like, you ignore your aches and pains all the time.
All the time. I mean, this village has been around so long and they probably heard me talk about, my knees and then my elbow. And then like, wow, he's got a lot of energy. Yeah, not every day. Yeah. There are some days where I don't. And yeah, so the physical health can't be ignored either. Mm-mm. Even if, like our next guest coming on, what should we bring him on now? Or should we wait?
We have to figure out our technology while we're doing.
Last time we brought on a guest, we couldn't hear what they were saying. So we're going to attempt to put this in, which means we are going to be able to hear them.
I hope so.
It's going to be so weird.
It's going to be really weird.
So we're going to unmute this.
Wait. So we're going to hear them on a delay, though.
Correct.
Because I'm now hearing myself talk from a couple seconds
10 seconds ago. Yeah, we're going to try it.
Okay. That's not going to be weird at all.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. It is really weird.
Maybe I don't understand why we
can't. Maybe we'll mute this one.
Yeah.
Or give us a minute. We're going to try to figure this out.
Now my other ears.
And then we're going to bring him in. So let me pop up a little banner here. We're going to try to do this like ESPN coming on the show to talk a little bit about, he can talk about whatever he wants other than me when I was a child, because it's my older yet not wiser brother, Coach Jay, is coming to the show. And did I spell all that right? Because he'll pick on me there too.
Yes.
Good. We got all that. We're going to add him to the screen here. There he is.
Oh, you do have more facial
hair. I have more facial hair than him. Okay,
well, the first question that Brian had when he brought my shirt in was, whoa, how long did it take Uncle Aaron to grow that?
Oh, how long has it? The beginning of kidding season.
Yeah, it's been less than 2 weeks.
2 weeks, I think.
Oh, yeah. Not bad.
Oh, that's too low. So we figured it out. Right, how we can hear you.
I have volume on my mic, but I'm trying not to peak I'm going through a mixing board. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I think that looks better. We're gonna
go. Oh yeah, no, that looks much better.
Yes, we can hear you okay.
Yep.
I think our village, give us the double thumbs up again, whether you can see. They can probably see him. I mean, I think I know what I'm doing here.
I hope so.
I hope so. I mean, we even do this.
Oh my God.
But
why
no, we
would
don't.
You do that? You don't have a third person.
We don't have a third person. All right, so we'll stick here. So, I said, older brother by 3 years. Mm-hmm. Where was I going to go with this? So we shifted from, and I'll let him tell the story. I'm not going to tell it, but. And I want you to give a little background too of who you are, what you do. Like, obviously, you don't have to talk about.
Yeah, because I think because of COVID,
you froze.
I know that a lot of people have seen Uncle Jason in the barn.
Yeah, no, I don't remember. The last time you guys were in the barn was a long time. But you're right. The village here probably has seen you in the barn. Maybe Brian and Dylan. They see Dylan and good. We're good. We got the double thumbs up all over the place. So audio and everything's good. But
Dylan especially chimes in on your lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, they see that. We say it's our nephews are in there.
Yeah.
Dylan's always in.
The
I know
last
one
time-
of them literally watches every like video we put out.
Yeah, no, they watch them all. And
Yeah.
going back, you mentioned how Jacob will mention when he's playing video games, time for therapy. I've mentioned it on my podcast, and I'll mention that in a minute. And when I took a communication class after 20 years, I went back to college. Someone did one of their speeches on mental health and said how it's normal. If you say, I'm going to the dentist, people just say, okay. If I'm going for my yearly physical, people will say, okay. My eye doctor, okay. Why is it such a stigmatism to say, I'm going to my therapist? That should become normal, which would start with insurance companies allowing you to do 2 or 3 wellness visits a year. If they added that, it would make it more of a normal thing. There's no reason why you can't do a mental health wellness visit.
Well, and especially during COVID. And I think there are now apps where
there are.
But it all goes back to insurance.
It's come along. Mental health actually has come a long way in the last year or so. There's an app out there. Obviously we're not sponsored or none of that, but Michael Phelps is a part of it, and it's live, certified, licensed mental health in the app available. And I don't even think, like, for the first session, I think you would literally download the app, and if you need help, you can click the button. Somebody's there to talk to you for at least that first session.
Yeah.
And then from there, they go into the insurance and how do we get this person the real help they need. But there's that first buffer.
Yeah, I think somewhere along the line, society put a label on mental health as weakness.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Where that came along, I don't know. I mean, if you go way back, I was watching a documentary or program about how they used to treat mental health specifically in women, and it was just really chalked up as, oh, it's just hysteria. Like somehow we're just crazy because we're overwhelmed with raising kids and cooking and providing, somehow instead of recognizing that you're overwhelmed because you have a lot going on, it's, oh, you're hysteric, and now they're treating you with shock therapy and trying to, I don't know, beat it out of you. Like somehow it's just going to go away.
I just got to put this up because this will get him all excited. He's got a guitar fan in the house already. Wasn't sure if he saw that. You watch out. He has lots of them you probably can't see on screen.
Yeah.
Those are all basses. Those are 2 acoustics. There is an electric guitar up there, and then there's 2 more hidden behind this bookshelf.
Yeah.
And then the drums.
Yeah. We'll bring him back on for a guitar addiction session
on the next episode.
In the next episode. Yeah, I saw that one. So I'm gonna have you go ahead. Tell us about.
So we've been focusing on the mental health side and how you don't want to ignore the warning signs. But tell us your personal experience this week of why it's important to not
ignore the aches and pains.
Ignore the physical signs.
I'll just mention a little what I do. Outside of my full-time job, I have Beam Motivation is my coaching page, and I've coached for years. I coached high school sports. It was some of the best years of my life, 15 years of high school soccer, high school baseball, and I love the mental aspect of coaching, the mind game. The in the locker room before the game, it's David and Goliath. We're not Goliath, but you can still bring down the beast. And those mindfulness and the mental game can be taken into anything. The way I coach my athletes to go on to a game that they don't think they might have a chance to win is the same way that Aaron coached his sales staff to go into a sales pitch that you really didn't think you had the chance to get. It's the same mental thing. So I do a lot with that archery coaching now. I still coach the youth sports. So the mental side does come in. Like I said, we mentioned on the podcast, which is the Power Shift Mindset. And you can find that directly on SoundCloud. And it's also on iTunes or Spotify. That comes out once a week. But like they brought me on to talk about the physical health, and I have the script memorized because I've been saying it for years. mine and Aaron's father had 4 heart attacks. Her mother had 1, an uncle on my father's side, a cousin on my mother's side. Both grandfathers had multiple heart attacks. So when you talk about heart health in the family, it's definitely something that's going to bite us eventually. And Aaron actually had an episode like 20 years ago that caught his attention. And I was feeling some chest pains on Sunday. Just thought to myself that it was being out of cardio shape, because I've yo-yoed with weight and I've gone up and down. The past 4 years, I completely changed my diet, completely changed my exercise routine, where now I'm more like 90% on the weight training, which has been good, but I wasn't running or biking as much as I did in the past. So I just chalked it up as, all right, maybe I'm just out of cardio shape. Let me get that back into the regiment. So Monday I hopped on the elliptical, only went about 20 minutes, and something's not right.
20 minutes for me is a long time.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I'll use that. I use that on the podcast, or one of my favorite episodes is the importance of rest. And a lot of people will say, oh, I was lazy today. I didn't do the laundry. I didn't do this, or I quote unquote skipped my workout. Going back to the guitars. If you know how to read music, and Liz, you'll understand this. The notation of a note and the notation of a rest have equal value. If you play through that rest, and I use the song Bingo, you sing B-I-N-G-O, you come around the next time, we clapped as a space holder, but it should be rest, I-N-G-O. If you play through that, you mess it up. So when you skip that workout or you skip doing the laundry, that's not skipping. That's the rest that's written into your life's music. So don't ever.
Okay, I got a question.
But you've been resting for 4 years, so I think
me. You're right. Yeah, no elliptical, no treadmill. My farm is the farm is my exercise program. But today was a rest day, and I took her shopping with me. Oh, that was a bad idea, because the amount of stuff we had to buy
that was not good for his heart.
For the retail store coming soon. Oh my gosh, I should have worked through it and not rested at the store with you.
Right. And
so the rest day today, and to be honest, I felt the anxiety while we were out shopping for things we needed for the store. I'm thinking in the back of my head, oh my gosh, I should be tiling right now. I need to be tiling the floor. Like we're on a schedule. I have literally a timer in my phone. We got 18 days until this thing opens, but the rest day is important.
Yeah, it is important. And I think sometimes with a rest day comes a little bit of like you were having a little bit of guilt.
Completely.
So pushing past that.
Well, that's the mindset of knowing that it's rest and not skipping or laziness. And going back to 20 minutes for you would be a full workout. A rest day for me might be to go for a 3-mile hike that has 1,000 feet of elevation gain. That's a rest day for me. That's just a nice stroll. Where for you, that could be your workout. So everyone's rest day, everyone's workout.
That's a trip to the ER for him.
Right. So we call that.
I know. I ran the Colchester 5K with him, and remember, I told him. I told him, make sure you go for a bike ride the next day. He opted to not do it, and then he unloaded all that hay 2 days later and was hurting because he didn't do something the next day. But then going back to the treadmill.
How many 5Ks have you run without training?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Couch to 5K means couch today, 5K tomorrow. That's not what that means. No.
So going back to got on the elliptical. I went to work the next day, still felt the tightness, and told my boss, listen, I got to go to the ER and get this checked out. So I kind of joked that I'm the only one in the family that doesn't have any Bondo on me. I'm still all sheet metal. I'm the only one in the family that doesn't wear glasses. These are blue light blocking glasses just from being in front of the screen so much. I have one white filling in my teeth. I don't have anything else issued until this week. The doctor checked everything. EKG was good. Blood enzymes were good. So I did not have a heart attack. But he flat out said, your cholesterol sucks, which was surprising because the past 4 years, I made those lifestyle changes where I now eat broccoli. I try to avoid it, but I still eat it. I added squash and zucchini. I eat a ton of cauliflower rice. Usually that's how I mix the broccoli and can't do it by itself. So I eat better, eat leaner meats. And when we get pizza as a family, I try not to eat it as a leftover the next day. I just eat it that one. So I made all these changes, and the doctor said, that's all crap, what they teach you about food. It does play into the bad cholesterol a little, but the good cholesterol was lowered due to my lack of cardio. So the gap between the two of them.
Mm.
So I ended up going for a cardiac catheterization, and I had a artery that was blocked at 99.5%. So pretty much.
So let's stop there for a minute. So you had an artery blocked at 99.5%, but yet a 3-mile hike in the woods is a rest day. So it's one of those things like you had no idea, but something on Monday at work made you think like this just doesn't seem right.
Yeah, it was more the 3 days, feeling it 3 consecutive days where I said, you know what, this has been around 3 days in a row now. Let me get it checked out. And then I actually asked the doctor, and you never want to jinx yourself sometimes, but I said, at basically 100% blockage, how did I not have a heart attack? And he said, heart attacks is that acute blockage where everything's clear and that big chunk comes and blocks the hole, and all of a sudden, wham, it hits your heart. Where for me, it built up slowly. So it's kind of like weight training. Today, you can only lift the 10-pound dumbbells. Next week, you can lift the 15s. You built up. Well, that artery slowly closed. So as it slowly closed, my body adapted to the restriction, and I just worked my way through it. But it could have been a case where, you know what, one more set of deadlifts with Brian in the basement, or one more lifting a pan of work at work, or one more sprint, could have been what did it. And it was definitely an emotional week. The week, I called Aaron, and he said, "Hey, how's it going?" And I said, "I guess you didn't hear the news." He's like, "No, what news?" And then he replied, "Oh, so you didn't hear about our news yet?" And it was kind of like,
because Jake's thing and your thing all happened on Monday, and that was like, oh, you see,
and neither of us had talked to each other yet, so we're sharing news. So this week was, issues I had going on elsewhere, then my health things. Then I hear about Jacob, and we have an uncle who has cancer, which is getting more aggressive than it was reported a few months ago. So that hit me too, because that's the uncle that gave me my love for music. So that was like in 1 week, I just got blindsided by everything. So it was very emotional for my thing, especially. And I mentioned I had a tooth pulled. I was talking to a friend about it. The top one, it was wisdom teeth. Top one was fine. Bottom one kicked the crap out of me. And the fact that it bothered me more than it bothering me. So the physical pain bothered me, but I have a high pain tolerance. So I was more bothered that it was bothering me. And that was kind of like the thing here where physically I feel good. The damn wrist brace band thing that they put to stop that little pinhole, the little air wrist thing, that bothered me the most on the physical side. But just again, the emotions of, wait a minute, not a drop of Bondo on me until this point, that bothered me. The emotional thing that I'm 45 years old. That was the age of our father's first heart attack. So that just the fact that those lined up exactly, that played in my head.
Then when the doctor told you have to take that medicine for the rest of your life, this is not just for the next week. Yeah. Right.
And it's because I would get comments all the time, and people mention, I still have all my hair and still all naturally color. That is a place where Aaron is beating me on the grays.
I think I am. Yeah, no, my grays are coming in a lot faster than yours.
Yeah, furious.
So I had
you actually have a question. You actually have a question in the chat.
Yes, I did. I did get a stent. So that was the other thing. And like Uncle Jeff said, when I talked to him, he said, well, when they go in, you kind of hope they find something, because when they don't find something, it's like, okay, then what the hell's going on here? So as much as you want them to go in and say, nope, everything's good, you pull the pec muscle, which has happened to me in the past, where I pulled my pec so bad that just the chest expanding and breathing kept me up for like a week. And I went and got that checked out, had everything done, the stress test. And then when I text Aaron and told him what was going through, his reply was, glad everything went well. It makes me want to go checked. And my reply to him was, just do it. And
and that's kind of why earlier in the week I was like, or it might even been this morning, I don't remember, I brought it up to Liz. I go, I think I want to bring Jason on the show. Like, we don't talk about physical health here much, right? With our close to 400 people hanging out with us. But the physical side, I'm always been there. I think even when I was younger, when I say younger, I mean 16, 17, 18, 19, in my teens, like I'm not going to the doctor until the wheels fall off the bus. Like physicals, whatever. I'm healthy enough. I don't need to go. But obviously with this news, and Jason said it earlier, and I don't know if our village knew, but in my 20s, I did have a heart issue that was like emergency room, hospital, same thing.
Your enzymes were
my
elevated.
enzymes were elevated and all that, but we did find out that was because of a workout enhancement product called Metabolift back in my college days. Metabolift was something you bought at GNC, and it was meant to boost your metabolism. It worked. Your pee was neon green, but it had a drug in it called fen-phen, which was taken off the market by the FDA because of spikes in heart arrhythmias and so it was all based on that. But then I was seeing a cardiologist yearly, but then that stopped. You're fine is basically what he said. And then hey, your cholesterol's bad, eat better. But then with Jason's news, it was like, you know what? Maybe the wheels are on this bus are wobbling, and I know it.
Well, and you're not taking care of yourself with your diet, and you're not really sorry. Like you're exercising, you're physically active, but you're not doing like true cardio workout. Your body is not getting a proper workout.
No, it's not. It's physically active, and it's probably why not, I don't know. I don't want to say I'm in shape, but I don't want to say I'm completely out of shape. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I've got 20, 30 pounds to lose, not 100, If we didn't own a farm and I wasn't active, I'd probably have 100 pounds to lose is what I'm trying to say, But, I was hoping that Jason's story can help somebody else in the audience here be like, you know what? They're right. I haven't seen it. I haven't done a physical for years. I've gotten tired. Maybe I've been
pushing off that ache.
I've been pushing off that. At one person, it helps. They go, and the same story happens. I had a 95% blocked artery too, and my body has just adapted to it. Yeah. Then it was worth telling.
Well, that's like I said, mine was slow. So anyone that's listening that might have been that athlete in high school. So you played Little League baseball from 8 years old through high school ball of 18. So you were active. You condition your body. And that's one of the things, especially these past 4 years that I've been working out, eating better. This most likely would have happened 2, 3, maybe 4 years ago had I not been doing what I've been doing over the past 4 years. I knew based on family history, this would have hit, like I said, hoping it would have been more in my 60s than in my 40s. And like you said, anyone listening that's getting that slow blockage that might not be active. So they don't even get anything that alarms it. They don't jump on the treadmill to make it give you that alarming sound, or they don't go for runs or whatever.
Right.
Like if you were to go run, I think you missed the Colchester half marathon last week. That would have been a good one to test.
No, half marathon. What are you, crazy? Can I use roller skates? I mean, seriously. Now you're just trying to kill me. Obviously, it's really too soon to tell. So how's Jason now with the stent? He literally got home from the hospital this morning.
Yeah, I got home at the stent went in at about 1:30 this afternoon. So this is how new.
Too soon to tell.
And Aaron messaged me, asked me to come on and said, if it's too soon from the emotional standpoint, I said, no, I've already put this on my podcast. We have a weekly podcast that I put out. I have a co-host that's on the show with me. It goes out on Sunday nights. And then on Fridays, I'll do this short back and forth where I'll kind of review last week's show and preview the upcoming topic. And this past week, I actually had Shruti, my co-host, on for that short one just because I kind of needed support. And I actually mentioned what I was going through. And obviously this was before the procedure, but the fact that this is what's happening, that our weekly show is going to be delayed until next week. But I already put it out there to try to just let who's ever listening hopefully get that little kick in the rear that they might need. I actually typed up a thing that I'm going to bring to work when I go on Monday and just put it in the lunchroom. It just tells the guys what I went through. And I kind of mentioned that I work in a shop that we don't get sick days. We have some vacation time. We get 2 personal days for a year, which is really nothing. We get no sick time. And there's been times where I didn't feel quite right. And I'd say, you know what, I'd go check it out, but I don't have sick days. I'm not going to get paid. And I have minimal vacation time. So I don't want to use, no one wants to use their vacation time to go to the doctor.
No.
But like on the back, the last paragraph I said, it said you can live without the sick days. You might not live without the checkup. So even if you're sitting there and you're thinking the same thing, you work in a mom and pop shop or you're self-employed and you don't have
that was me
paid time
in
off.
Sales. The salespeople do the same thing. It's like, oh, I could just sell more stuff. Every hour I take off the sales calls or meetings is one less hour I'm out selling. It's not a, paid time off. We had all the freedom in the world to say you don't want to come in or you want to leave at 3, that's fine. But the true salespeople knew that, like, I don't have time to go to the doctor. I'm selling, I'm closing deals, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So to your point, it's kind of the same as I don't get sick time. I don't want to lose the time. It's you gotta take it. I'm not the one to talk, but I've got 500 people here that are now on the next Q&A are going to be like, Aaron, did you make your physical yet?
Right.
I guarantee you. And maybe that's what I need to be held accountable. I know you've said it time and time again, but that whole repetition of you haven't gone, go get on the phone. Like the tile in the store will be done another day or whatever, Well,
there's a lot of people, somebody just said too, I'm not one of these women, but women tend to focus on their health and they'll go for their yearly physicals. Men, they tend to just be like, I'm invincible and I'm fine. I feel fine. They push through. There's that correlation between men have to put on this strong face of saying, I'm fine, everything's good, I'm capable, both physically and mentally. And sometimes it's like, no, you have to really take that time to get that checkup and check in with a counselor, a therapist, a pastor, whoever you feel comfortable talking to just, check yourself.
Oh, go and you mentioned how women will tend to take care of themselves more. I'm going to go kind of flip that on the other side. When it comes to exercising, women can be a little more stubborn as to what to do for exercise. And I'm going to use Maria, for example. And
you better be careful. It's like 400 women in here. We
don't
have a lot of dudes on this show.
Here's the thing, because Maria knows I use her as an example, and I use our relationship in the podcast a lot.
By the way, she's in chat fighting off all the ladies that are like, woohoo, Jay. I don't know if you saw that earlier. She's he's taken.
I see her there. I see I'm here. A lot of women, when it comes to exercising, more with resistance training, so lifting weights. And Maria was one that, I don't want to lift weights. I don't want to get big. First of all, you're not going to go boop to a dumbbell and turn into Arnold Schwarzenegger. If that was the case, every guy on the planet would look like Arnold, if that's how easy it was. When we started a program, she could not do 5 decline sit-ups. By the end of the program, she did 5 sets of 20. All right. And then she went to a program that was less intensive. And about 2 weeks in, she's like, no, I want to go back to the other one, because she felt so much better doing that. And when you talk about the accountability of having 400 or 500 people in here that are going to make sure you have your checkup by your next Saturday broadcast, and we mentioned
get on the phone.
We mentioned having a coach on the podcast, and whether that be, and I'm a certified personal trainer too. So whether you have a personal trainer that works you through that, whether you have a nutritionist that makes sure you eat well, whether you have a music teacher that makes sure you practice. And anytime you have someone that there's that accountability, if you have a test on Friday, you're going to study. If there's no test or quiz, you're most likely going to sit there and play video games or do whatever else you want to do, watch TV. When there's that accountability of whatever it is you do, it makes you do that. So, and one of the shows we did was investing into yourself, and not the investing, because here's the difference. And I've said this with my father. My father worked himself into 4 heart attacks, pretty much. He was in the military, earned everything he got. He earned his rank. He earned everything he has, and the lifestyle he has now with a nice pension. My uncle, who lives in the art world, makes stretchers for artists. He has $1 million paintings on his frames, played music literally all over the world, lived in Key West for 3 or 4 months a year, played music there, up in Cooperstown, in Europe, in Costa Rica. And I was at my father's house, and I said, you took 4 heart attacks to learn to relax and live life, where Uncle Jeff kind of probably enjoyed life a little too much. I'm trying to find that balance down the middle, and investing in yourself. I've said there's probably a balance in between me and Aaron. We're financially, and now obviously the layoff and stuff plays into that, but financially you've been better with stock market stuff and investing your money, where I think I've been better in investing into my health and living a little life. And I think that balance is somewhere between you and I, where you're definitely doing better with the money aspect. I'm doing better where, I mean, how many times? Again, but still,
I know what you mean.
But still the
right.
What you do, when obviously
the
when you
career
have
side, the building a business, all that, and your job, you could, hopefully they're not watching. If you didn't need it, you wouldn't be there.
Right.
You know, right.
And it's and taking care of yourself in that balance is big. And I have another trainer who I actually hired her when I was taking my personal training certification course. I hired her for 2 sessions to basically go through the information more as a tutor than as a coach. And she posted something recently on Instagram that was this brownie thing.
The conversation worked. I'm not trying to cut you off. Don't mean to interrupt, but look at that. You see what people are putting in? That means it worked. So I'll let you continue, and then we're gonna go talk about goats in a little bit.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, this trainer put this picture on Instagram of this brownie thing with like Reese's peanut butter cups and all, and she wrote, "There's nothing healthy about this" on there. And like I said, she's a personal trainer who's been doing it for 15 years. And I replied, "This is very healthy. It's called balance. You could stress yourself out about eating chicken breast, broccoli, and brown rice every day for 3 meals a day. And then now you took so much care of your physical health, your mental health went off. Kind of like we're so focused on the physical health of wear your mask and stay isolated that now Jacob's mental health got hit, and he's not the only one that's gone through this. So you got to balance all 3 sides of your health that you mentioned. And just to one more thing going on, like Aaron, when he had his episode where he was taking a supplement. Supplements are just that. They're majority of supplements that you buy out there are fine, but they are supplements. They're not meant to be your primary source of your calories or your protein or whatever. They're to supplement when you can't reach your numbers. So don't rely on a protein shake. 15 grams of protein in a protein shake, you can get that in a yogurt. Eat the yogurt.
Right. So I'll go back to the balance, right? And in the business world, we hear this balance all the time. I hear it on a lot of podcast type things. Would you rather be happy in your Toyota or crying in your Ferrari?
Here's one story. And I know you said you're going to go and talk about the goats. So here's one last story that I heard that's always stuck with me. I've gone in and out of my connection with religion, but my wife and I worked on a youth program for years, and we went to a big youth program. It was in the year 2000, Youth 2000. This was like an international thing. There were probably 300 things. And one of the priests was telling a story about 2 women. The first woman lived as a princess. I mean, the whole world knew who she was. They watched her every move. She had all the money in the world and literally had the life of a princess, but she wasn't exactly that happy. There was another woman that lived in poverty and had nothing in terms of money. I mean, lived, like I said, in poverty. People knew who she was and kind of kept an eye on her, but she was probably the happiest person in the world. They died about a week apart from each other. The first one's Princess Diana, second one's Mother Teresa. And that story is always stuck. So like you said, you can be happy in your beat up Toyota pickup or miserable in your Cadillac. And it's the items aren't, you can't take the items in the box. And that's for sure. And
and I'm gonna end with obviously thanks for coming on. Only a couple hours after your surgery.
Yeah.
I hope it helped some people in here. I know it made our show a little different than normal. We're not going anywhere. We're only an hour in. We'll talk about Harper and when she's having babies and when are we getting all the little babies together and all the questions everybody wants to know. But I thought this was very important. And I saw somewhere somebody had a question for Jason again. It was a very simple, here it is. Do you see the goat cam? What I think they're asking is, do you watch the goat cam?
Mhm.
I think that's it.
My kids watch it more than I do.
Oh.
If they see something, they'll put it on. I mean, they'll flip onto it. Obviously, whenever I see the feed on Facebook, I'll check it out.
Yeah. Yeah, we know. I don't think Dad has figured it out yet.
No.
I tried to
No.
teach. He's like, "What do you do with that face space? Like, how's that work? Like the tubes,
Well,
the YouTubes."
For
he
those that don't know,
hasn't figured it out.
our parents are divorced, and I tried to get mom and dad on Facebook video chat at one time because
Oh, you're
obviously
crazy.
the emotions hit me. So I just wanted to tell the story that I was getting this done once.
Right.
And I
Right.
couldn't get them both. We ended up doing it on the old. I'll call it total phone, like our days. I got it
Yeah.
onto just a 3-way phone call, but I just wanted to do it once. And again,
Yeah.
our mother, a retired APRN, so she's got the medical background to begin with, and our father, based on his experience and
Dad's got street knowledge in the heart world. Yes, 4 heart attacks now and a pacemaker. Yeah, he's been there, done that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Uncle Jeff's taking some credit. He said, "See, I gave you more than just your love of music." So
yeah. So I'm gonna leave you
Right.
with this one, right, from Granny Barb. Yeah.
Thank you.
She's been around a long time. Granny Barb's one of the OGs, three years or so now from the beginning.
Yeah.
And we're obviously happy you're feeling well. Thanks for jumping on. If you guys want to check out Jason's page, there's the link right there. I dropped the link earlier too.
And
and
if you
he's
look up,
also available on Instagram under two different ones. The Power Shift Mindset.
Be Motivation is mine, and then the Power Shift Mindset is the one I co-host the podcast with Shruti. And they say if you go to the Power Shift Mindset, look it up on either iTunes, Spotify, or SoundCloud, you'll find it there. Weekly shows.
Yeah.
We're up to about 18 full-length shows on there, and then those short ones. So if you want to check those out, if I had to pick one to look at, to listen to first, I really like The Importance of Rest, because too many people unfortunately, we have that responsibility of having to pay bills, and that's just always in the back of our mind, that we need to work and push forward, and everything needs to be perfect, and your house needs to be up to date, and you need to have your laundry done at all times, and God forbid clothes are overflowing.
Do you have to paint your front door? Because we still haven't done that.
No,
front door's real bad.
No, you need to sit around.
I gave that up years ago.
You need to sit around the table and play a board game with the kids, and that's what
we did. The last game we played was a good one.
Yeah, that was
fun. Yeah. All right, we're gonna let you go. We're gonna go talk about goats and stuff.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me.
All right, talk to you later. Bye.
Take care.
All right, so hopefully that was fun, different.
I think
this worked.
I think it's an important message to get out there, because there's so many of us who I think are guilty of, a little bit of self-care neglect.
Yeah, totally. And I'm not talking self-care like buy fancy soap, hint.
No.
We're talking self-care
Shame on you.
like that hurt. Why did I just get that pain? Well, I must have just moved my arm the wrong way. No, that's happened like 12 times in the last 3 months. You know what I mean? And starting to register those and not being afraid. And I don't know if this is just me, but not being afraid to waste your time, but the hospital's time, when you get there and you go through that whole process and they're like, yeah, nothing's wrong with you, go home. And I'm like, oh, sorry.
Well, that's your mindset.
My mindset.
Your mindset is you're wasting your time. You're wasting their time. And that's like what they're there for.
Yeah.
So.
Right. And I think, my cardiologist, back when I was going through all that, and I was seeing him yearly for a couple years, stress tests, everything, I was like 18, 19, 20-ish or 21, so somewhere in that age bracket. And at one point he said this, and maybe he put that kind of mindset. He said, look, you can't use the cardiologist as your primary doctor, and that to me was like, oh, sorry, I'm wasting your time, because he was the only person I saw every year Every year I went to go see him.
Well, I think that is a little bit of a bad bedside manner because I pretty much use my OBGYN as my primary and they don't mind at all. They're like, oh, you haven't had blood work in a while? Let's do one.
Yeah.
Let's do your cholesterol. Let's do it's like you're my OBGYN. No, it's fine.
That's
I think
good.
that's bad. I think you found the wrong doctor.
That could have been what it was. Yeah. Because ever since then, he was like, I don't think you need to come every year, blah, blah, blah. And I just stopped. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could have
Well,
been.
I think it leaves a bad taste in your mouth, too.
Yeah.
You
Could have
know?
been. Yeah.
I think if there's a concern there and you want to keep going, then you keep going.
Right. Yep.
So
now we'll get to some go questions. What's going on with Harper?
nothing.
Nothing yet.
Absolutely nothing.
She's not moving. She might not even know she's pregnant. She didn't in the beginning.
No,
Get
nobody knew Harper was pregnant in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, her ligaments haven't moved at all.
No. And what day is she at? I don't remember. Somebody in chat probably knows.
Oh. She's not even to her due date yet.
Oh, yes. No, she's in the window. You're right. I saw it in my phone.
No,
she's in the window, but not her due date.
Her due date's not until March 24th. And last year, she was 6 days overdue.
You're right.
So
she held on to that baby.
Well, and that's fine because if she's got a singleton, like Bo was a singleton last year, Bo needed those extra 6 days.
Yeah.
Because she was still little. So.
Yeah, Bo, I don't remember how little Bo was.
5.8 pounds.
Oh my God, I just had a little panic attack on my phone because my timer for the farm store needs to be complete.
Yeah.
Is at 14 days,
Mm-hmm.
not 18 days.
I wasn't going to be the one to tell you
Ouch. Yeah. See?
Yeah.
Here. 14 days. And yes, you can see all my apps. 14 days until it's complete. Not 18. Oh, that hurt. Oh, but the rest day was important. That's all I'm going to say. It was good. We got a couple things we needed for the store. Got
I'm not
some
going to
food.
mention the fact that you've got a calendar
Oh, I do.
and not everything is on it.
Oh, yeah, no. You'll see it in an upcoming video. Created a project calendar timeline. Like for anybody that works in construction out there, you want to paint all the walls before you put down the new floor. So like process, like you can't put a countertop in before the cabinets are in. Like it's all time sequenced as to this needs to happen before that. And yeah, it's a little stressful to look at.
We may or may not get it done.
Yeah.
We have been hiring some of the neighbor kids.
Yeah, help me out
to get the job done, and they only work so fast.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And obviously Rob's come over and helped us bang out some cabinets the other day. We built the base cabinets, stuff like that. We got some questions coming in. I'm gonna pop some up here. Is Jenny getting her barrel back?
She'll be fine.
She's fine. The weather over the next couple of days is perfectly fine. These baby goats are big enough. They don't need it. And I think they broke it when they knocked it over. Yeah. So I could hear the light inside sounds broken. So they probably don't need it. And we're hoping that Harper makes some progress over the next couple days that we then have to do what? Oh my goodness, I saw
Kathy.
that. Kathy, I saw that. I'm trying to read.
You know how much food she brought last time?
Food. Wait a second.
She brought cookies. Remember? That's what we had for lunch last time.
Oh my gosh, I do remember that we ate cookies. So this year, Goat Snuggles, Kathy was here, right?
Kathy was here last year.
She brought cookies.
She brought a tray.
Yeah, and last year we did.
And wine.
We did a Goat Snuggle and then an hour break. A Goat Snuggle and then an hour break. And what we realized that didn't make sense. Because people would linger for 15, 20 minutes after their hour.
Which, Kathy, that's fine.
Which, yeah, it's fine for a villager. And then
play favorites that.
And then people would show up 20 minutes early for their new snuggle. So really that hour in the middle became nothing. So we squished it together now.
It was our time though to rehydrate, get something to eat.
Right. We're going all out this year. It's half-hour breaks in the middle.
Get out of the heat.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Especially in August.
Yeah.
But now the farm store is going to have air conditioning, so we'll just hang out in the store.
Yep.
Maybe I can get a mini fridge in the store.
I thought of that already too.
Did you?
I did, sort of. Knocked the barrel over earlier, and Yeah, that's exactly what happened. It was all mom's fault. Gus did nothing wrong.
No,
Yeah.
Gus did nothing wrong, but
Yeah.
one bad apple can ruin him for it all.
Yep,
for them
I'm going
all.
to put this up for everyone. We're going to go with this one.
Thank you very much.
I forgot our headphones are on, but that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, so my goal here, hopefully, if Harper makes progress.
We should have like shots available. It's her 21st birthday.
21st birthday.
Where do we get some?
I know. Where do we get like a drink?
Don't text the
Hey.
kids for that. That's
No,
inappropriate.
that would be bad.
I thought you were texting
no.
them.
But we have to do that. We'll do this, seeing that they caught us in the middle of a Q&A.
She's UK.
I know, but say hello.
Happy birthday, Rachel.
Wait a
I thought you were
second.
doing a video.
Hang on, Rachel's UK?
Yeah.
Oh.
I told you can't.
Oh, so
You
that
can't
won't.
send it. Okay. Happy birthday, Rachel.
Yeah, there you go.
She's right there.
We'll just do this though, because there are 2 birthdays in our community, so we gotta say just wave because it's not video. There, I think we got it. All
Oh my
right,
God.
that's for the 2 birthdays out in the community that are unfortunately are not UK because I can't send text messages to
the
non-UK.
UK thing.
So the goal here, and I see all those questions, I'm getting to them. If Harper makes progress, we need to find a pen for Harper. Hopefully pen 4 where Amy is.
Right.
Possibly.
Mhm.
And then Genevieve, Greta, thank you. Greta and her 2 little babies will move where Grace is.
Nobody.
Or
else.
next to
Grace.
next to Grace on the other side, which then allows us to take down all the walls, take down all the FEMA trailers, and get everybody together.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
just need Harper to make a little more progress because we don't want her to sit in a pen for a week and a half. But if she starts making progress, that's when the change happens to the whole barn.
Yeah.
And it gets exciting. And then all the barrels go away. Really. They don't need barrels after that point.
Well,
we
we'll
might
put some pools in,
correct. We'll put pools and stuff like that. Yeah. So
which we
that's
might have to like uncrunkle.
we might have to uncrinkle a couple pools.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna tell my gosh, there's the first one.
He can't start doing
There you go.
that.
Do you guys have a certain day you want the store to open? Yes, the 3rd. It's the first
Yeah.
day of Goat Snuggles.
So April 3rd is the first weekend of Goat Snuggles. It starts. It's opening weekend, but it's opening day of Goat Snuggles. It's all sold out. So if you wanted to come to it, it's sold out. I didn't realize that the next day was Easter. So we still have slots available for that Sunday because it's Easter. So I don't know how the Easter Bunny's going to work.
Yeah, I don't know how the Easter Bunny's gonna work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably should have
Super early.
looked at a calendar.
Easter
Okay.
Easter Bunny might have to come super early before Goat Snuggles.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have to figure it out. We'll have to talk to the Easter Bunny.
But yeah, so April 3rd is when the store, and I'm coming to terms with the fact that the store won't be done.
Don't go there. It won't be.
No, I mean like it won't be 100% to exactly what I
no.
wanted.
And
it
are
to
you
be
okay
on.
with this?
I said I'm coming to terms.
Yeah, that doesn't mean you're okay with it.
I'm coming to terms with it.
Okay.
That's the first step.
It'll be pretty darn close. With upgrades to come later.
Yeah. Well,
Which
the upgrades is the part that I wanted done right away. But
yeah.
it's fine. I have a vision. It'll get there. It's just not going to be 100% there on April 3rd. The thing about our official grand opening is not going to be April 3rd.
No.
You never,
We're doing what's called a soft open, meaning
Yeah.
we're opening and not telling anybody.
that means we're not going to be ready for April 3rd,
Um,
but we'll have product in the store.
Right. And then over the month, we're going to iron out all the kinks. And then somewhere in May, we'll do an official grand opening
Right.
where we might actually. But yeah, it's pretty much open to snugglers, meaning Saturdays and Sundays.
Well, and
And
anybody who comes who knows about the store,
Right.
right? I'm just not going to be putting it out on Facebook
Right. There's
as like, hey, come to the grand
it's our way to
opening
try to iron out the kinks with everything that could go wrong.
and
or
get
whatever.
some last minute finishes,
Yeah.
details
Done.
put in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the next question, I don't have all the answers here, but what are the specs of the cameras used for streaming and what type of cameras is needed to upgrade the one in
Grace's
pen. So there's two different camera systems we use. One is hardwired, has a dedicated computer. That computer literally only runs live stream cameras, fancy software, all the two cameras, obviously not Grace's pen. That allows us to put text over it, turn it on and off. The cameras are made by a company called Reolink, and the software we use is called OBS. And we have a dedicated computer running all that.
Mhm.
Grace's camera is the same camera we use for anytime you see us moving around in the barn. So they're wireless. They're called Mevo cameras, and they run off Wi-Fi. They're not as stable as the hardwired. That's why they crash sometimes.
Yeah.
But they're good for like Wacky Wednesdays and the membership side, because that's the camera the members are on, because we can change it. We can't do we can, but you wouldn't do a members only hardwired camera. That'd be kind of weird. But you
Yeah.
could. The deer people in Maine do a members only camera out there. No, they do members only chat.
Yeah, I
Never
was gonna
mind.
say.
That's different. Sorry. But yeah, so that's it. Those are the two cameras we use. And Grace's pen, we are thinking of possibly adding two more hardwired cameras. So after kidding season's over, the ultimate goal, I don't know if I'm even allowed to say this out loud,
You can say whatever you
but
want.
we don't know if it's going to happen. But the ultimate goal after kidding season's over and the craziness and excitement of kidding season's done,
Mhm.
to have two cameras on each barn, one inside, one outside on each barn.
The new camera.
The new
The
hardwired.
the ones that
Right.
have a little bit of a wider lens and all of the overlays.
We kind of fixed the wider lens thing a little bit.
Okay, better picture quality,
Yeah.
stuff like that. And it has all the overlays. So we ultimately want one looking over Gen Pop in Cassie's Castle, one looking outside
In the playground
in the
area
playground
somewhere.
area of Cassie's Castle paddock. And then the same thing over in House of Pie. So House of Pie, Gen Pop area, and then the play grazing paddock area.
So that's kind of the ultimate goal. We talked about it earlier
Mm-hmm.
today or yesterday. And that's after the stores open and we can like, all right, let's see what we can do now with the camera system. Now that it's built and we figured it out.
Well, we got some of the
We're
kinks
hoping.
out prior to kidding season with the glitchiness, and
Right.
it all came down to we needed a dedicated.
Yeah, we had to
Computer.
upgrade the PC. We had to, yep. We
Well, it
couldn't
was
run-
running off of a laptop, and that just was pushing it
Yep.
to its maximum capacity. And so we had to upgrade that to a computer.
Yep.
So
Yep, exactly. Let's see here. I saw something.
there was a concern as far as like, well, when you move all the babies and the moms into Gen Pop, like, is it just going to be a free for all with the milk bar situation? So that's not how it works.
Yeah.
Goats are gonna, the reason we keep all the moms with their babies for the first 2 weeks of their life is, and this doesn't even take 2 weeks, it's just we give them 2 weeks,
Right.
is to make sure that they are bonded to their babies. They are not going to let other babies nurse off of them unless they're Charlotte.
It could happen
And they would.
eventually, but not usually right in the beginning.
The babies
Yeah.
do tend to, they don't know the rules, but the moms will teach the babies. And
Yeah.
so things get a little pushy.
They get a little
In the
pushy,
barn.
yeah. If the baby goes up to the wrong mom and tries to drink from her, that mom will let her know, hey, I'm not your mom. And then she'll figure it. They'll figure
Find
it
your
out.
own milk.
Yep.
And that's totally normal.
Yeah, that's normal.
So,
I don't know if you saw that question. What was the white stuff hanging out of Rainy after she had AJ?
not
White
sure
stuff.
if it was white.
Yeah.
They're clearing out their uterus at that point. So, could have been umbilical, could have been her placenta. I'm not really sure at what time, like when that was noticed. But they clear out. I still have girls that are clearing out like this almost like gooey mucusy stuff.
Yeah.
And it just continues to clear out for the next couple weeks, which again is another reason they spend a lot of time, in their pens,
Right.
because that's all still part of the recovery process for them.
Yep. Yeah. So this one's kind of cool. It's a farm store. It needs to be a little rustic.
Ooh, it is.
Rustic and not finished are two different things. But I agree, and it's kind of the way we designed it. as the videos come out, you guys will see it's not
Yeah.
sheetrock walls. The walls are made out of wood that have imperfections. Now we did paint it to make it look more boutique-ish, but it's still wood. You know, not like this, but
No.
yeah, it's still wood. Yeah. There's a good one for you. Do all the goats have middle names, or just a few? I would say just a few.
Not all of them.
Yeah.
Genevieve almost got one today when she knocked over her barrel, but it just didn't come to me, so she didn't get one.
So when goats go into jump hop, what would you do with all the second cut hay that's left? So we would continue to feed that to them, probably less than we are now. It's hay's everywhere. But no, I wasn't gonna hit you. But we would have one goat eating second cut that technically doesn't need it in this barn.
And honestly,
she'll be
because
fine.
she's still growing, she can have it.
Yeah, she'll be fine.
Yeah, everybody needs second cut while they're nursing. So it's not.
Yeah.
It's good that we have so much right now.
Right. If you breed Gus to an Alpine, would you call it designer breed like a
Oh, it's an Almancha.
an Almancha?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
No,
Still looks.
it's not a Labradoodle.
Well, I'm sorry, but
Oh my gosh, is that a Labradoodle in her icon? No, that's not.
no. Labradoodles are.
Designer breeds, right? I mean, that's kind of where it started.
I don't want to start an argument, but
Yeah, okay. No
it's a
argument.
mixed breed, and somehow they've marketed it in a way that it's
Right.
a designer breed. No, they've done that a little bit with mini manchas. So it's like it's a cross between a La Mancha and a Nigerian dwarf.
Yeah.
So they're little and they have no ears. They're
Oh.
mini manchas.
That's funny. What is Stella wearing? A sweater.
A sweatshirt. It's like a color blocked hoodie. So sorry, Stella, but
Oh,
have
you
to show
woke
off
her
your
up.
outfit. Yeah,
Stella,
so it's
look at your outfit. Each leg has a different color.
Each leg has a different cup.
She didn't.
Yeah.
She didn't.
She's
She's
like,
like, I
whatever.
want nothing to do with this, guys. Come on.
Back down here.
Let me
now.
go back to sleep.
Oh yeah, she's had a stroke.
She didn't want to do that. Yeah. Yeah, she didn't get to go shopping for farm store stuff today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Liz,
Yes.
is the hoodie you are wearing available for purchase?
Well, no, because I'm the owner.
But the same one without the word owner.
Okay, so
She doesn't.
it is,
Oh.
but it's not embroidered like this. It's a
Oh, it's printed, not embroidered.
printed. I'll have to check.
So
And
you
I'm
don't.
still having words.
You'd have to go to our website and look under swag.
I'm
I
still
just poked
having
myself in the nose.
words
Yeah.
with the manufacturer because
Yeah.
they're taking their sweet time getting somebody their replacement
Yeah.
hoodie because they messed it up. So I'm not very happy with them right now.
What?
I don't know.
I'm trying to figure out what Chris West wrote here.
Lucy called me. She said she has a migraine and would like somebody to take the babies.
Yeah, that sounds like something Lucy would say.
It does sound like something.
She'd
Lucy
even
would
fake
say.
the migraine and be like, "My head hurts, take the babies," even though her head really doesn't hurt, because that's Lucy for you.
Lucy, the inattentive mom who has very naughty babies this year.
Yes.
What happened
Yeah.
to you?
All right.
Are you just
Where
not feeling it tonight?
I gotta find.
You poor thing.
Oh, Liz,
Yes.
this one's for you.
No. When do you announce what babies you are keeping? As soon as I make that decision. And are you going to keep Grace's baby since this is her first time being a mom? No.
No.
If I keep Grace's baby, I have to get rid of Moose
Yeah.
because I can't breed. Since Grace and Moose are actually father-daughter, I cannot keep a doe out of Grace without replacing Moose.
Yeah.
Because I would not be able to breed her to her father and grandfather, technically. Those bloodlines are too close. So just like we had to do a few years ago with Charlie, we had to replace him because we kept Poppy. I don't want to have to do that again so soon.
Yeah. Don't want to do that. At what age are goats considered fully grown? I think I know the answer.
Oh, then what is
3.
it? Yeah. Yeah, 3 years old, they're pretty much done growing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is a good one. How are your other children doing during this week? You know what? They're doing all right. I would say they're doing all right.
I think
Tyler,
Quinn and Livy are completely oblivious.
yeah, they don't really know.
You know what though? They do ask, like, they have made this connection of why is Jake leaving every day? Like,
Yeah.
where is he going?
Oh yeah, because of COVID. Like he's leaving.
Where is he going?
Right. He's got to get all masked up and go to this.
So that's been an adjustment actually, because now he has to, like, the kids haven't gone to school since last March.
Right.
You know, when COVID officially like shut down the school. They've been doing virtual learning this whole time. So, which has its trials and issues there. But yeah, the Quinn and Livy are like, well, where's Jake going?
That's kind of this here. So my question for him is, one leaves. How do the others react? Right. Yep. That's kind of.
Yeah. So we have 4 kids, and now one of them is leaving to go to his hospital program. And the program only has like 3 other kids in it.
I think it's like 4 kids. Yeah.
4 kids total.
Yeah.
And so they're actually doing virtual for everybody else,
Right.
which I don't know how you do a partial hospitalization program virtually.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
But they're doing it virtual, and I'm happy that Jake isn't. It goes against everything that we've really worked hard to keep the family safe during this time and keep everybody home.
Yeah.
But at the beginning of all of this, we said mental health comes first for the kids.
Yeah, it was a calculated risk, and we had to take it.
So I'm happy that we've got this far into COVID before anybody hit that brick wall. But, we've been contemplating to sending the kids back to school because we've sort of seen the writing on the wall.
Yeah, it's coming.
Everybody's hit their limits with virtual school.
Yeah.
And we said, just give me a couple more weeks because we're eligible for the vaccine in a few more weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Whether we'll be able to get it appointment-wise is a different issue.
Yeah.
But we're eligible in Connecticut starting in the beginning of April. And once we get that, we're pretty much open to the idea of sending the kids back to school.
Right. When do babies start eating hay?
Now.
I was going to say they're pretty much starting now. And then KT had a question about, Liz, what's your favorite breed of goat? And is Moo still your favorite goat?
Well, I don't think I ever actually
said
that Moo is my favorite goat.
Yeah.
And my favorite breed. Katie likes to throw these hard questions, like picking a favorite child.
Mm-hmm.
My answer remains the same, though, is that I cannot pick a favorite.
Yeah. Okay, while you think of that.
Oh, no, that was my answer.
Yeah.
I cannot possibly pick a favorite.
There you go. Have you ever done goat yoga? April 3rd is my birthday. Well, happy early birthday. And yeah, we did goat yoga once. We're not doing it again.
We did it for a season.
Didn't really work.
You know what we found out was people loved the goat part of the yoga and not so much the yoga. So we decided to keep the goat part.
And not the yoga part. Hence, goat snuggles. It's yoga without the yoga.
It's goat yoga without the yoga.
Plus, I had to do all the sales to fill the yoga classes and then split the money with the yoga teacher. And I'm like, whoa, wait a second. You didn't get people here.
That might have been just the wrong fit, too. Yeah. Plus, I think we needed a yoga teacher that knew something about goat yoga and how it's different than regular yoga.
Right.
Don't have people laying on their backs.
Yeah, you don't lay on your backs with baby goats.
No, we had a lot of, I mean, everybody found it funny and fun, but we had a lot of babies jumping on people's heads and stomachs, and I didn't see how that could have felt very good. So
no. So do kids get beards like their moms, like Lucy? Well, not as a kid, they don't.
No, so that takes about a year to start growing in. I remember when Lucy first started getting her beard, it was around October of, I think, the year she was born. If not, it was the October after. I only know it was October because it was Halloween time, and her little witch's beard was growing in.
Yeah, I remember that. I lost my question I was about to put up. And I was trying to find it. Something about Stella and her chicken episode this morning.
I don't know what happened with that.
She was right up against the edge.
I looked too. There's no hole for her to have like gotten a bird.
No, she didn't.
It's
didn't get
almost
anyone.
like maybe a bird stuck its stupid head out,
Yeah,
and she might have gotten it, or a foot or something. I don't know. It was one of the silkies, and it was having a fit. But
Yeah.
I don't think, and there's no feathers either. I don't think she actually touched it. It just
there it
freaked
is.
out.
Found it. It's right here. Did Stella get grounded from her chicken episode?
No,
No.
not. I think the chicken was just scared. Definitely got a reaction from us though.
Yeah. There's a good one for you.
So it was beautiful watching how much Grace adored her baby. Have you ever had a mother reject her baby? We've had a mom reject her baby once, and that was Rainey last year with Aerie, and that had everything to do with the fact that Rainey picked up on Aerie's disabilities.
Yeah.
And she was just doing exactly what she would have done in the wild, which was preserved herself and her other baby who was capable from
Yeah.
predators. So she knew that something was wrong with Aerie. And she was pretty much
Yep.
telling us, like, I can't do that baby.
Right. I got a question here about, will Amy get a camera? No, because soon we're going to get everybody back into Gen
Yeah.
Pop. Really.
The unfortunate side effect of using all of our pens is that we don't have enough cameras
Right.
to keep eyes on everybody. And it's, we can't move the permanently screwed to the wall
Right.
cameras that are over moved.
I mean, I moved them during kidding season, but you could see you got to climb up there with the drill and move it. It's not something we want to
moved
move.
them during kidding season
Right.
in the idea that they were staying there for kidding season.
Right.
It's not one of these things like where we can move it and then a couple days later move it again.
Right.
With Grace's cam, as portable as it might seem like it is,
No.
it's still not ideal to move and have to put somewhere else for very long. So that still requires climbing and repositioning and
Right.
hoping that it doesn't lose
Power.
or connection with Wi-Fi and all that. It's not ideal.
Right.
So as as upsetting as it is to not be able to see everybody in the barn, stall 4 generally goes unseen while everybody else's pens are full. When Harper moves into stall 4, Grace and Greta will be over in stalls 5 and 6. I don't know if you'll be able to see both of them.
Right. We'd obviously keep an eye on Harper because she's the one about to have babies.
And then Gen Pop because
and
everybody
Gen
else
Pop.
is there.
But we probably won't get Grace and
Grace and Greta on the same camera.
Yeah.
Like the angle just, I
It doesn't
don't
work.
think it'll work.
Yeah. From Canada, while we're on it, how are Amy's babies? Her babies are fine.
Yeah,
They're
no,
doing
they're
well.
bouncing and zooming and
Yeah.
doing everything that all the other baby goats are doing. You
Yeah.
just can't see them.
Here's one about babies settling in the Gen Pop, I think.
Do the twin goats seem to settle into Gen Pop better than the Singletons? I think if
I think they're all
anything, so
fine.
the babies really don't care.
Yeah, no.
They don't care. The whole transfer for the babies will be fine. It's the moms. And it's the babies learning that they can't nurse on other moms. But as far as like, do the twins or the Singletons fare differently? I don't think so.
Yeah.
They'll settle into their groups. They'll share cuddle puddles, and cuddle
Yeah.
puddles are their pools of
Babies.
baby
Yeah.
glops.
And I'm not sure if you saw this, but I guess Greta and one of Dee's babies were play fighting.
Yeah.
They were,
They're very interested in each other. You'll
Right.
see AJ come up to the pens. You'll see Gus come up to the pens because they can see each other. Not so much with the ones who are in stalls.
Yeah.
They can see through. They'll
Mhm.
peek through, but they don't get fully animated with each other because they have just slats, these little holes. Whereas FEMA trailers, they can fully see
right.
and investigate.
Why are Moo and Lucy larger size than the others?
You mean why are they still fat?
Moo's just big. Yeah.
Moo and Lucy are just, they're big
Yeah.
boned. We call them fluffy.
Yeah, they're
They
just
got good appetites,
they're
that's
just
for
big.
sure.
Yeah. How much after all the babies are out of their pens will Greta's babies join them? We
Yeah.
just need them to get bigger.
I think that's going to. I need them to not be able to squeeze out of the fence outside.
Right. Yeah.
That could take a really long time. So we're just gonna have to play it by ear.
Yeah.
I think too, the more I see them bouncing just as energetically as the others.
Yeah, they might be able to go. Yeah. Yeah. And just how are you guys? We're doing all right. This is a little itchy. I'm starting to get
Oh my
hungry.
God.
You know,
That's actually a surprise. I am starting to get
I'm
hungry.
starting to get hungry.
And
Yeah.
we ate lunch at like noon.
No, we were later than that. Yeah, it was more like I
1?
think it was like 1:30,
Oh, okay.
and then ice cream.
An ice cream.
Yeah. So
You know-
hopefully Jason's not watching.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
sugarcoat anything. It's been a rough week.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, like, this is our second time around with Jake going through his struggles, and I feel less I'm taking it less personally this time around.
Oh yeah.
Last
no.
time around, I was like, oh my God, what have I done that my child is struggling with his mental health? Like, where did I wrong him? What could I have done better, different?
Yeah.
And then I've realized in the last 2 years, it has nothing to do with me. Get your own head out of your ass.
Right.
This is about him.
And that's where he.
And I didn't do anything
Right.
to mess him up. Like,
Nope.
because I felt like I messed him up.
Right.
No, it's
So
his.
this time when we had to deal with the authorities, we were like, look, we've been here, we've done this, we know what he needs. Yes.
This is actually his
Yeah.
third time
Yep.
in a hospital situation
Right.
where he's had to either go to, this was his third trip to the ER
Right.
for his depression. It's not even depression. So
It's not 100%.
I don't want to go through like the nitty gritties of everything, but for those of you who struggle with it, I think it's important to say what it is. But he is officially bipolar. So he's going to go through these. This is going to be his life.
Right.
He's going to have bouts of highs and
I
lows
got
and
something in
manic
my eye. Keep
and
going.
manic episodes and depressive episodes. And he's in one of his depressive episodes right now. I think it's important to address he's an adolescent. And so this is going to fluctuate because it's the time of his life where hormones are changing, right? Not
Yeah.
just the testosterone in him, but everything else.
Right.
So he's
Yep.
he's got to get this under control. So, and it'll be a lifetime of it.
Yep.
So coming to terms with that, I think as his parents, coming to terms with that for himself, that's kind of what we're dealing with right now.
Right.
This is not going to be a one and done thing. You know, you don't just go to therapy once and you're like, and I'm good to go.
Yeah, and it's not even like a broken arm. Like, okay, you broke your arm. We know how to fix it. It's going to take 8 weeks. You'll be able to throw the baseball again. You'll be good. Blah, blah, blah. That's not how this works.
Well, and as a mom, you just, that nurturing side of you comes in and it's like, I just want to fix him.
Right.
And you can't.
You can't.
This isn't something that,
No.
to your point, you put a cast on and then you're good.
Right. Yeah.
You know, it's a lifelong struggle. And that's the importance of normalizing it, is so that, you know, everybody who struggles with mental illness, bipolar, depression, anxiety, it's important to stay on top of your mental health by, you know, keeping up with a counselor, keeping that relationship going.
Yeah.
I know the idea is to graduate out of counseling.
Right.
But I think there's a healthy baseline of counseling, even if you just check in once a month
Mm-hmm.
and stay on board, especially when you find somebody that you really connect with. And I think Jake has that.
Yeah.
With his therapist he's been seeing now for 2 years. He has that. He has to take a break from her while he's doing the partial hospitalization program.
Right.
But he can come back to her, which is important that he
Mm-hmm.
he knows that, like, that relationship isn't over. And to Typo Queen's point, you know, bipolar is a chemical imbalance. It isn't anything you did.
Right.
Understand the struggle because she's bipolar herself. This is something that Jake is coming to terms with too, because now that a label, it's always been labeled for him.
Yeah, he doesn't like the label.
It's been labeled to him previously as a mood disorder, and that's the natural progression is once you hit that 16, 17, 18 years old, they move away from a mood disorder, and now that you're not a pediatric,
Right.
they label it's the same thing, that it's bipolar. And just recently, his pediatric psychiatrist labeled it as bipolar,
Yeah.
which I was shocked because he is only 15, but he's.
Yeah, they can see it early.
They want to say, you know, call it what it is. You know, if it quacks like a duck, it is a duck.
Yeah.
But that's what we're trying to explain to him is, you know, this is nothing that you have control over. It's a chemical imbalance. And just like
Right.
if you were a diabetic, you would treat it with medication to stabilize your insulin. If, you know, you had heart disease, you would stabilize it with medication. Cholesterol. This is something that you need to take medication for because it's not going to be, you could do all the talk therapy you want.
Right.
And that's a key aspect of treatment.
Yeah.
But when it comes to treating the chemical imbalance, it's really important to treat that with the right medication.
Right.
And maybe some of what he's struggling with right now is not being on the right medication or not being on enough of the right medication.
Right.
Because he is an adolescent and his body is changing.
Yeah. So I just saw what Miss B put up there, and I'll drop a thank you because, as you guys know, that chat box up there, you might even be able to see it from that angle. You can see the orange line right there. It pops out, and we can see it. But there's a lot going on here that we can't see all at once. So, I got a question over here ready that I want to drop in about goats. But she says Jake's not alone. He thinks he's alone.
Yeah.
He literally said it the other day. There's nobody else out there dealing with what I deal with. And we're like, no, there's actually about 2 million people that deal with it.
So we
Because-
Googled it and it was 2.3 million Americans.
Right.
Not even globally.
Right.
2.3, which is almost 1% of our population, struggle with just bipolar. That's
Right.
not mental health as a whole.
Right.
That's just bipolar.
Yeah.
And he's got ADHD and he's dyslexic, and these things run.
They usually run in tandem.
If you're ADHD, I think you're 50% more prone to depression.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's, he's
Yeah.
not alone. And I
He's
wish,
not.
and he's not,
Rachel just said it right there.
he's
just said
not
it
in
right
a
there.
place right now to hear that he's not alone.
No, he's not.
There's moments of his roller coaster, I'll say,
Yeah.
where he's extremely able to take it all in and hear and understand that he's not alone and there's people here with him, and that what he struggles with is what others struggle with. But right now he's not in a place where he can really hear any advice that we're trying to give him.
He's also, okay, this is where I'm going to shift the conversation a little bit. He's also, during COVID, found a niche that he's good at, that he likes, that he finds a purpose, which is Twitch and his live stream and his video games. And
Self-validating.
it's self-validating. He's created an audience. He follows in his mom and dad's footsteps with an audience. He finds value in it. But then on the other hand, there's school. And there's no value there. Online learning's garbage. It's not working for him. And there's this clash that
I want to point to Nicole Barra.
yeah.
That's exactly what Jake was diagnosed with too.
Yeah.
DMDD.
Yeah.
It's a wide range of disorder, and he didn't have the disruptive part.
Right.
And it's almost like he morphed it. It wasn't DMDD anymore. All of his evaluations, even his therapist was like, this is not the kid I see anymore. And that's, I think, why they made the change and labeled it bipolar and not DMDD because he doesn't fit that diagnosis anymore. Go ahead. Sorry.
I don't know if I can even continue because I'm confused as to where all that went.
You were saying he found his niche.
He found his niche in Twitch, in streaming, in building an audience, and finding respect there. But what acceptance. But what happened, and there's a balance, is that the audience, no disrespect to the 500 people watching, but the audience became more important than himself. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened on Monday when it was like, without my audience, life's not worth living. And his friends picked up on those messages he was sending out because there's homework to do, there's schoolwork to do, and there's still and the analogy I used was, look, if you were in high school and you played soccer or basketball or football or any sport, the coach would not allow you to play if your grades weren't at the level required to be on the field.
Yeah.
So your grades are not at the level that are required to be streaming on Twitch. And he didn't like that answer.
Right.
And then it went all bonkers. And
that's where he takes a situation that seemingly looks, okay, this sucks, but it's explosive in his world.
Right.
And he goes from, I'm totally fine, to I need a safety check.
And I literally said it again. Yes, mom and dad love what we do, right? Our audience is amazing. We're building an audience. We're building a career on it. However, mom's health and my health and is way more important than the audience. Like, we can't get to a point where if you tell me tomorrow, Aaron, I'm done. Turn the cameras off. I'm done. We'll sell soap on our website. I'm done. I'm not going to sit here and be like, well, then life's not worth living.
Yeah.
So it's
the differences are like we have normal highs and lows.
Correct.
And he does not have normal highs or lows.
And that's what we're trying to teach. That balance of, we get it. You're upset. You're not allowed to stream on Twitch because your grades and this and but the fact that the thoughts that go through your head is my audience is more important than me, that's a problem. And that's where we're trying to help him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we love you guys. But I think you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's getting him to be able to verbalize how he's feeling too before he gets to a point where he's already in his mind spiraling into a place of life's not worth living.
Right.
And he knows it on a good day. He knows, okay, I've got my plan. If I'm feeling this way, here are the people I can reach out to. Here are professionals I can reach out. He has a plan. He can state it. He cannot execute it.
Right.
And it's all part of the struggle.
Yeah.
And anybody who's gone through it will know, like, yeah, theoretically, I know what I need to do when I'm feeling this way. But in the moment, can I do it? Can I stop myself and do it?
That's like me knowing that sit-ups will help, but I don't do them.
Okay. Well, on a very superficial level, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just trying to lighten the mood there for a minute. Okay. And I'm trying to get back to a goat question here because when they have siblings, and there's two of them, Donna, sorry, we got sidetracked. When there's two of them, one goes home, how does the other one do?
I feel like we give the goats enough time together, more time than most people give them together, that by that point, the sibling who's still here is like, sweet, I get all the milk to myself.
Yeah.
I don't see, I have never seen.
No, it's not a sibling thing. The mom's like, where'd my other one go? And then
is she that?
And then wait a second. And then an hour later, she done. Yeah.
Yes. If you take a baby away from a mom right now, specifically Amy.
Yeah, Amy.
She is going to blow her lid. Okay. Yeah. But I will say
after about 12 weeks, no.
When her girls are ready, and this is we keep them on mom nutritionally for their goat, knowing how to be a goat, living in a herd, giving them that extra time to know how to live in a herd. with their mom's supervision, that extra month that we give them, because most breeders give them the normal 8 weeks, just like you would with a puppy or a kitten. 8 weeks, you're done. They go to their new home. We give them that extra month as their minimum because of so many different reasons, and this is one of them.
Yep, exactly. Greta and her little babies have not been disbudded yet. They're still too small.
They are still too small.
Still too small.
Yep, everything is smaller with
I'm
them.
gonna pop that question up there. I didn't even proofread it, so hopefully it was okay for you while I look for another one.
Yeah, so she's asking, are babies born with or without teeth, and how long do you wait to wether a male goat? So they are born with little teeth. They're just like they do break through the gum line. They continue to grow throughout the goat's entire life, though. What?
I just lost some of my questions.
Oh, okay.
Because the chat skipped and I lost it. And I was about to pop up a question, but I missed it.
Like Tina and Brenda have been doing.
Yeah,
They'll post.
I lost all questions between 8:24 and 8:34. A whole 10-minute window. That's okay. Keep going.
Okay. Yeah. So they are born with teeth, but like I was saying, the teeth grow throughout the goat's life, so you can actually age a goat based on the length of their teeth, which is pretty interesting. They do that with horses as well, and I'm sure cows, maybe. And as far as how long do you wait to wether the male goats? So if I have a buyer for an intact male, they have to go home by the time they're 12 weeks old. They cannot stay any longer than that. That is as well the longest we will go to wait to castrate. We don't band. That's a whole other show. But we do surgically castrate the males, and that is at 12 weeks. Thank you to Thunder for that life lesson. Any other questions?
No.
No.
I was looking.
So Lori had a quick question. I've watched Rainey and Jenny butt heads, headbutt when Rainey is sticking her head through the gate. Can Jenny hurt Rainey by headbutting her too hard? So I haven't actually seen them make contact when they do this. It's all kind of like in a threatening kind of way. Both of them are pretty passive goats. Rainey is being a nosy neighbor.
Yeah.
And Genevieve is like, get your head back in there. This is my space. Like, you crossed the line. And neither one of them are doing anything aggressive. I have seen two goats headbutt and hit through a fence.
Yeah.
When they're really upset with each other. So Jenny.
Yeah, they're not bad.
No, she's just saying, like, in her very nice mom voice, back up.
Yep.
But nothing excessive and nothing aggressive.
Stella's giving them the silent treatment with her back to them, but how she's doing? How's her back?
Stella's
doing fine.
Stella's doing great. I cannot slow this dog down.
We're trying to get her to not jump up and down things and do that. We're doing the best. She ripped her stroller, so she exits her stroller when she wants to. Now it has a hatch door on the back. Like,
you know what though? She does. She exits it when she wants to, but she sleeps in it all night long.
Yeah, she does.
So she loves.
And even in the living room with like Hazel on the couch, she's laying over there in her stroller perfectly fine.
It's really like.
But if a cat walks by, she's out
in
the
back.
Barn. She will run out the back of the stroller. Yeah, but she's doing all right. Still no full flights of stairs or anything.
So she'll never be allowed to do flights of stairs. She'll never be allowed to jump on or off of our couch or our bed.
Yeah.
And she unfortunately will never be allowed to play with Luke or Hazel again.
Right.
Or any other dog for that matter.
Yeah.
It's just too risky to, especially with, unfortunately, with the breeds that we have in our house.
Yeah.
With Hazel, I mean, you guys saw it took one paw coming down on her back to hurt her and take her, down the road she's now on.
Yeah.
Which is 8 weeks tomorrow, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah.
8 weeks. Time flies when you're building a store. Would you please tell Jake that his crazy aunties from the village are so proud of him and love him? We will. And we told him that before this because we asked him permission to tell this story, and he told us what to talk about, what not to talk about. Like, he gave us an out. Of course, it's it's going to help people. Don't tell them that, but you can tell them this. And yeah, we do that.
Yeah,
We don't
so-
just sit here and tell you guys everything.
No.
Yeah.
No, he
Yeah.
actually, his first response when I asked, and we ask him every single time because
Yeah.
his mind is allowed to change.
Right.
The first thing he said was,
Oh, I saw something.
yes, you have to tell the story. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, well, what? His response threw me off.
Yeah.
So I said, well, okay, why? And he said, because it's important for other people who are struggling to know that they're not alone.
Yeah.
Very simply.
But yet yesterday you said he was alone. So it's like,
but,
yeah,
and that's where
right.
day to day, hour to hour, minute to
It
minute,
changes.
he changes.
Yep.
So what he had a very, I would say on Monday when this
Yeah.
whole thing went down, he was in a very low, dark place. He got the help that he needed. And then he was having a very, what I would call like his mature phase
Mm-hmm.
where you can talk to him about anything
Yeah.
and he will process it logically and like come back to you and say something so mature it knocks you off your feet. You're like, what? Who was that? And then he'll have days like
Yeah.
yesterday and today where
That,
he is just, yeah.
right. But to him, he is alone.
I know.
Right. Exactly. And it's trying.
No matter what
Yeah.
you say to him, no matter how many times you say all of these messages, I could print it out and show him all the hearts, and I could show him everybody saying, how much he's not alone.
Yep.
To him, he is.
Yeah.
And that's where, when Robin Williams took his life,
Mm-hmm.
we all were like, how could one of the funniest people alive be that depressed that they take their own life? Because, and like, you're a celebrity and you seemingly have it all. You have it all. Money's not an issue. You're famous. You've got
Right.
friends. You've got people who love you all over the world. And yet you're so in this black hole that is depression. You cannot see that. It's nothing.
Right.
It's a black hole.
Yeah.
It's a void and nothing can fill it.
Yeah.
That's depression.
Yeah. We had somebody earlier. I didn't put it up on the screen. Obviously, they shared it because they wanted to. But somebody earlier said that they had somebody. I don't know if it was a sister
It was
or
a niece.
cousin or a niece that went there too.
Yeah.
And it's scary. It's that dealing with it as so close to home. It's not a friend of a friend of a friend. It's not that. It's here in the house.
Yeah.
That whole boy cried wolf thing. It's
So
like
with Jake's,
yeah.
So with Jake's depression and he has suicidal thoughts.
Right.
He's made it very clear that he has, I don't know the exact words. So he has thoughts, but he doesn't have a plan.
Right.
And he's literally said, even in his lowest, darkest time, Mom, I have the thoughts, but I would never do it.
Yeah.
And it still scares me a lot to think that like someday that those thoughts might change.
Mm-hmm. Of course it does. But that's why we don't take the thoughts as the whole boy cried wolf scenario. Like, you went there, we got to go through the process, the hospital, the therapies, the this, the that, everything, no matter how many times it happens, whether it's 3 or 30 or 300, it doesn't matter. We just keep going through the process. We said it earlier and we were explaining it to Jake. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. You still get to the other side. I'll go on to something else, okay? I saw something here somewhere. Just a random, completely off-topic question. Are you okay? You sure? I can literally hit this end button right now.
Yep.
Okay. What breed is the other dog? Like, talk about off topic, and I don't know how it went there in chat. I don't know if they're talking about Hazel, who's a Great Dane, or if they're talking about Luke, who's a Weimaraner, or this one that's on the pillow, which we're still unsure of.
I'm still thinking everything in this room is a Frenchie.
Frenchie or a Boston Terrier, right? Which was what that one was up there. We still don't know what this is.
What we do,
But if I make noise, Stella will lose her mind right now.
So she.
Oh my God! I didn't even make the noise, and she's like,
She was just
The bird is
in
back.
like in a sleep where her eye was open, but it was like rolling back in her head.
yeah, she's like the bird's about to make noise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Bird's back.
This
Stella,
is why
you're-
Stella sits on my lap the whole time. She's like, "Mom needs therapy."
Yeah.
She's my.
Okay, I saw something here. This is very confusing. Why don't you put Grace and Greta in where Sadie and Lucy is, and could put Harper? Because that won't help us. I didn't even read the whole thing. That won't help us open up Gen Pop. We need to get the ones
need
that
that
need
L
stall. We need that L shape.
Everybody's sending some hugs, so
Right.
I think we should do like one big villager hug.
Okay, here it comes.
Okay.
Hold on.
Here we go.
Come
Nope,
on.
not. It's not.
Oh,
It's
my
gonna,
fault.
It's. You know what? Good things are worth waiting for.
Yeah, good things. Here we go.
Thank you very much.
Oh wait, it's done.
Okay, we're done.
It's done. Okay. Back to the comments, and I don't know if I lost them, but yeah, we're trying to get the L shape back. That's why as soon as Harper makes progress, Harper goes in 4, which is where we get over to the rabbits. The other 2 that we need to keep an eye on still with the little
Just
babies.
because they're younger.
Just 'cause they're
or
younger.
Little.
Yeah. I saw this question pop up a couple times. I'm not trying to ignore you, but I know we said it already. How do you decide what kids to keep?
Oh, she meant goats, not the humans.
Yeah, not the humans. The humans, we're gonna keep them all, no matter what.
I guess so.
The goat kids, it all comes down to her.
Yeah, there's so many variables when it comes to like who stays and who goes, and the choices are actually never easy. The kids this year, I have a feeling, will be the hardest ones to not to find homes for, but to just physically part with, because they're just such a personable bunch of kids this year. Every year, I feel like the kids are good, right?
Yeah.
These kids are just, man, they're full of it.
You're pretty much answering this question too, so I popped it up on the screen.
So it comes down to confirmation first.
Yeah.
Right? They have to be a good-looking kid when it comes to
Right.
their breeding. Like, if I'm going to breed them, if I'm keeping them, it's because I'm going to breed them, except for the Weathers. Those were just accidents.
Yeah.
But like Gus, for example, right? He came out. It's the confirmation. I have to look at his confirmation first. First, he was born a very big kid, so that's in his favor. Like, he's got size on his side so far.
Yeah.
And all choices, all decisions are subject to change. If he grows up and it's like, ooh,
Yeah.
I'm not going to breed him. You
Right.
know, this
Exactly.
is just like I'm deciding to keep him to give him the chance. It's not necessarily means I'm going to breed him. His bloodline, for example, like I know his mother's udder. I know his sister's udders. I want to breed him to improve upon
Mm-hmm.
Sadie's udder,
Yeah.
Lucy's udder, and Moo's udder. Moo actually does not have a very good udder.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking to keep a doe out of her who is bred to a buck who has a good udder in his bloodline.
Yep.
So, and then last and probably most importantly to everybody else is personality.
Right. Yep. How can a goat bite with no top teeth?
Ooh, you'd be surprised.
Super hard gums.
Yes.
At the top. That's really all it is. It's a big hard gum that goes across the top. and then teeth at the bottom. And it's
Yeah.
but then if you get back here, they have teeth on both sides. And
Top and bottom.
And the top ones are flat and the bottom ones are pointy.
They're grinding.
And they literally move it in, and they can literally move their jaw like this to grind their food. And they'll do that to your finger if you put it back there.
Like our razors.
Yeah, don't put your finger back there.
Awful.
Yeah.
Very sharp.
Yeah.
Typo Queen asked, how are Danica, Charlotte, and Evelyn doing in House of Pie? Has Danica taken over as Queen of House of Pie? And are they coming back to Cassie's Castle?
Wow. Everything over there is going fine. I don't know who it needs a serious muck out over there.
Well,
oh my
because
gosh.
there's so many more
Yeah.
goats over there, the amount of hay that has been thrown all over the floor is epic.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can't.
Who do you think is
I don't
the
know.
queen over there, though?
Let's send Jake cards. I mean,
he did like that.
he did like that last time. And the funny thing is, I actually still have them all.
Yeah.
I have that stack like this all wrapped in.
Maybe he should go and read them all again.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just good to go and maybe I should go and read them.
Maybe you
again.
should go. Yeah. I mean, look, you guys know where to send them to if you want, but you don't have to. I mean, he's doing his thing.
I told him it's important to
Yeah.
really use this time. He wants to. He's not like, I feel like some people, you have to come to terms with like wanting the help. It's like an addict. You can't just send an addict to rehab and expect them to go and have a successful recovery.
Right.
They have to want it.
Right.
And I feel like he really does want it, and he really is trying. He's just struggling with how to get there.
Right. Yeah.
You know, it's like the normal struggle of just how do I get there?
No. Plus, that's what I never finished my analogy.
Oh, sorry.
No, I did. I finished my analogy about like if your grades aren't good enough, you're not going to be allowed to play soccer in high school. You love soccer, you play it, but if your grades aren't good enough, you're not going to be allowed to play. The other analogy was not analogy, but the concept is when that soccer ball is taken away, or when that guitar is taken away that you love to play, or whatever. What is your reaction to that news that my guitar is gone because I didn't do X, Y, Z? Right? Mm-hmm. The reaction is what we need to work on. And that's what we're trying to work on.
Well, that's the chemical imbalance between fight or flight that a lot of people with bipolar have is what to you and I would seem like a less significant event, right?
Yeah.
To somebody with bipolar, it is a huge monumental event, and their body's chemical reaction to that is different.
Especially
it's more extreme.
Especially if somebody's put it all together and doesn't understand. Okay, you took his video games away and he threatened to kill himself. Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. However, we're in the middle of COVID, and I didn't just take away a video game. I took away his community, his connection to the outside world. Yeah. And then it's like, okay, well then as a parent, why'd you take it away?
It's the only thing
because the only thing he was doing was that. Yeah. And there was no science work being done or English. And then there was this, I don't know, like web of like, well, wait a second.
Lies and deceit.
Exactly. Yeah. Like you told even the people trying to help you that work was done. So it's just starting to snowball after a year of COVID that like, okay, enough's enough. Like this, we gotta.
Well, and something that we noticed too is that
there's a question.
How do we keep getting back on this topic?
I read something and then it gets us back.
The highs and lows, like when he's good, he has normal highs and lows just like everybody, right? The highs and lows are like this.
Yeah.
And then as COVID was going on and all the virtual learning and the, everything's going on, his highs and lows, instead of like this, we're getting like this and then like this and then like this and then like, I mean, it's just, oh good.
Yeah.
And it gets to the point where you and I, as parents, were walking on.
Eggshells. It
Eggshells.
was like, you know what? I don't even want to ask the question about science because I already know the answer. I'm not going to get involved. I'm going to continue to build the store. I'm going to make soap. I'm going to whatever, edit videos, and let the school deal with it. But then it just got too much. That's not helping.
No.
Saying, yeah, okay, COVID, you don't need to care about school. That wasn't helping at all.
The thing is we started this school year off on a bumpy start with him too.
Right.
And we need to focus
I'm
on
getting to that question.
mental health first. And that's what we're doing.
Right.
School still needs to be in the picture.
Right.
But right now it is his trigger at the same time. So how do you work with that?
So how do you keep another thunder issue happening with Gus?
So
question.
at 12 weeks old, Gus and a little weathered friend, will go and live over in a bunk pen that you will have to make.
Wait a second. At 12 weeks?
Yeah.
So how old is he now?
He'll be 2 weeks on Monday.
So in 10 more weeks. Might as well
You'll have
start
time.
that timer.
You'll have time. It's fine.
10 weeks.
Yeah, weeks, not days.
To
Weeks.
build a buck pen.
It's just fencing.
Oh my God, it's just
It's just
fencing. She
T-posts.
makes it sound so easy.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
just fencing.
Angie and I will do it. Okay? Get over yourself. We could do it.
Oh. Well, I'm getting hungry. Yeah.
Yeah, at 9 o'clock, we're going to go eat dinner.
Yeah, I'm going to go eat dinner. Leftover pizza, Jason. Yeah.
I will
I'm
not be having leftover pizza.
Skipping through. I'm not reading a lot of this.
For the newbies.
Yeah.
What is
for
a
the
thunder
newbies.
issue?
Oh, explain.
Okay, so Thunder was a baby from 2 years ago who, let's just say, he matured early, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
And he got Greta pregnant in August, which she shouldn't have even been coming into heat. And he was just a baby who should not have been able to breed. And somehow he shouldn't have been able to reach her either. Somehow they made it work. And 5 months later, Thor and Adie were born in January. New Year's babies. So the thunder issue is we don't want one of the babies to get one of the moms knocked up unintentionally. Unexpected surprises.
Yes.
So yeah.
Oh, you already got that question.
What's that?
I had to get past when everybody was crying when you were crying. I
Sorry.
missed that part. Sorry about that. The blow up chat with tears.
Oh.
You already got that.
Well,
Yeah.
I didn't say
Are they coming back?
Who do you think is the queen over there?
I don't know.
It's hard to say. We don't
It's
have
hard.
cameras over there 24/7 anymore. So when I go over to see them, they all just look at me. And I do see Charlotte and Chanel hanging out.
Real quick.
They've reconnected.
Hazel is Jake's emotional support animal.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons we got Hazel.
Yeah.
So when he's upstairs and hanging out the last couple days, he's with Hazel a lot and Stella actually.
He does love his Stella.
Yeah. I'm surprised Hazel doesn't go downstairs though.
She doesn't do
She
stairs.
doesn't do stairs. Good thing her back. I mean, if her back hurt, we wouldn't have had to tell her not to do stairs.
Yeah, no, she
Yeah,
just
she just doesn't do them.
She's afraid of the stairs.
Yeah, unless she could jump them all in one jump, she doesn't do them.
Yeah, 5 stairs, she's good.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, with I read that so wrong. Yes, we will eventually get
That's
vaccinated.
it. Yeah, I know.
I
it's a
thought
hot-
it said, "Are you going on vacation?" That's how I read it. I literally read it as, "Are you going on
getting
vacation?"
vaccinated.
I'm like, "Oh, my
Yeah, so I know this is kind of like a
Hot
touchy
topic.
subject, and there's some people who are like waiting in line, just chomping at the bit to get their vaccine, and there's other people who are like, nope, too
Absolutely.
new, I don't want it. Obviously we respect everybody's point of view, but we are making the decision to get vaccinated when it's our turn.
Yep.
So I've done enough of my own research, and I trust the science behind it. I did not at first. I'm just going to put it out there. I was one of those people who are like, nope, too new. They're rushing it. I don't want it. But I'm going to get the Fauci ouchie.
The Fauci ouchie. That's what they called it on the news the other day. Yeah. I don't even know I don't know if it's a question because I didn't read it all.
Thunder and Billy were great escape artists. Do you see any of the kids getting great being great escape artists this year. I think goats by nature
Yeah, they'll try to figure it out.
are escape artists. Anybody given the choice to
Yeah.
escape any goats, they will.
And that comes to the next one where have you ever had a goat jump off of mom and then through the fence into the next stall?
No,
Not
but don't
over.
tell them that that's an option.
No. No. But we have had ones go like everybody thinks Izzy is going to jump through the hole and into
Oh,
Jen.
she could.
It could happen. But once we create the L and get everybody back to Gen Pop, all those holes get filled up.
Well, if not sooner, depending
If
on
not
how long this
sooner.
takes.
Right.
It's all up to Harper.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Harper.
I don't think she realizes how
Yeah.
much control she has over the barn right now.
Oh, yeah,
Maybe
Harper.
she does, and that's why she's doing this.
Yeah, Harper's controlling the whole barn right now.
Yeah. Somebody asked, can goats get COVID? I think the answer to that is yes,
Yes.
but I wouldn't quote me on that. I remember asking Dr. Kara about it. She goes, "No, let's not talk about that."
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, supposedly it was.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah. How's Olivia doing with her new bike? Great.
Oh, she's doing good.
Rides it all the time,
Yeah.
sort of. When
Well,
it's
they
nice
both
out.
left it down at the play area, and then it rained,
Yeah.
so I'm not too happy about that.
Yeah. I don't know what that was, but I'll pop it up there. Yeah.
I'm actually hoping, and I will say this, I'm actually hoping when I get the vaccine, right? The first one, it's fine. I had no issues. And the second one, I want my body to have a response. I want to get the 12 hours of fevers and chills and feeling like crap because that means it's working. It
Did you already
means
read
my
that?
immune system got
Yeah.
the memo and is starting to make antibodies.
Yeah.
That's what I want. Okay, moving right along.
Did you answer the question I popped up there about Stella? This? I was looking for the next question. That one.
Oh, does she?
Does Stella,
Does Stella have March Madness colors on?
No. No, I don't think
Well,
so.
it's purple and yellow on
They
her
do,
sleeves.
yeah, they do
Is that
change
March?
colors. I don't know. It could be. Yeah.
I didn't know March Madness had colors, so
Yeah.
so sorry, Stella.
So this
Jeez.
one is obviously good. Jake, the Simons, right?
Oh.
Need to share your story. We all need to share our stories. We are not alone. Exactly.
Well, and there's a whole channel, whole playlist on our channel about mental health. And
Actually,
the first time that
It's on this channel. Yeah,
This channel.
there's a mental health
Right.
playlist.
Oh, yeah,
The first
well-
time we went through this.
because
I don't know if
It
the
was
new
in-
channel has one.
it was
Not really.
no, probably not.
Yeah.
It was important then, and it's important now,
Yeah.
even though there's like a cringe-worthy dialogue of mental health that I did back
Yeah.
when Jake was in the hospital. Yeah, it's just. Mhm, mhm. just important to
Oh,
talk
so
about.
this is yes, very, very, very. So, will you muck out before all go into Gen Pop? No, but probably really close.
Yeah.
They'll all get into Gen Pop, which will happen right away. They'll probably settle in and start to understand it for a day or two, and then the muck out will happen. I also need the temperatures to get higher
Yeah.
because we don't want
we muck out.
to. We don't want to pull out their heated mattress
Mhm.
and still get evenings into the 30s, below 30. Right now they don't need heat barrels, but they still need that heated mattress of hay.
We don't want the teens to sneak up on us
Correct.
and have no bedding.
Right.
Right now, I mean, I lay in that, I was sweating.
I was sweating. Yeah.
It is hot
Yeah. No, it's warm.
coming up through, and especially now that there's second cut on top of that,
It's heat.
there's more water. I don't want to say water content,
But yeah.
but
It's warm.
there's something about second cut in the deep litter method that makes the composting process even hotter.
Right.
So right now the barn is very warm, and
Well, not in the morning. It's still cold out there.
you're not laying in the hay.
Yeah. Good point.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you'll even notice on the warmer days and we turn the barrels off, the babies are actually sleeping outside the barrels anyway. They don't
Yeah.
want to be in those barrels. They're warm.
Yeah. No.
So
Yeah. So, but yeah, good. House of Pie still has a big pile of hay in the way to muck out. Once
Yeah.
that pile of hay is out of the way, they're getting mucked out. Possibly even before. I might just move it out of my way and then go muck them out. But right now it's all about store. I got 14 days left.
yeah, we can't do anything
So,
until that store is done.
Yeah. And then it goes back to, okay, what did I neglect? Oh, mucking out for the last month and a half.
They're okay though.
Yeah, they're fine. There's just a lot there. All right, we're all caught up. We're here. I'm gonna go eat some leftover pizza.
I'm not.
Wait a second. Oh, maybe buffalo wings.
I have a salad.
You have a salad. You're right. You do. I see you rake out under the large feeder a lot. Is there a specific reason for that? That's a good question.
That's me.
Yeah, you're the one that rakes out all the way to the dirt under there every morning.
So the goats like to lay under there because it's like a little hidey house, and by nature, goats like to feel protected like that.
Yeah.
So if I let it pile up and pile up and pile up, they won't be able to stand underneath there.
Yeah.
Amy specifically is so tall, and she was so pregnant that when she was walking underneath that hay feeder, she misjudged the height and kind of took the hay feeder off the wall a little bit.
Yep.
So I like to rake out underneath it so that when they do walk under it and they are pregnant and they're, a little less mobile, that they can still maneuver themselves underneath there and have room to lay down, stand up,
Right.
walk under, stuff like that.
Yeah. So before we go, I just want to ask the audience. Obviously, it was my brother. We brought him on to tell his story because we thought it would help the audience, right? Before kidding season happened, we started to reach out to other YouTube channels. A lot of them that fit in our farming, homesteading, lifestyle, maybe even mental health or something to that effect. And be honest, we're thinking about bringing more guests on to our Q&As. Obviously, we'll answer questions still about goats, kind of the same way we did, like a two-part. At the beginning, a little intro. Hi, how's everybody doing? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. 15, 20 minutes into the show, bring the guest on. The guest stays for 15 minutes to 45 minutes, depending on how the conversation goes. And then they leave and we get back to what's going on in the barn. We do have a couple lined up. I still have to solidify the dates, but some brand new homesteading farm channels that have less than 1,000 subscribers. They're just starting out, but when I was doing my research, I felt a connection between what they're going through and what we've done. And then others that have 70, 80,000 subscribers and have a topic that would fit this community quite well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just something we're thinking about,
Yeah.
I don't know what the audience thinks about that, and there's a delay, but I think it could be cool. It could just mix it up.
Mm-hmm.
And it probably wouldn't be every Saturday.
No,
It'd be every couple Saturdays.
Right,
be
once a month. We would have...
once a month we're bringing on a special guest. Even Homesteady, if you guys remember him, he actually mentioned that he would come on once and talk about pigs because our pigs are coming soon. Which we got to build that too. So now let's finish the pig pen, finish the store, and build place for Gus, and get to the doctor. Right. Okay. Yep.
Gus
That's
can
happening
come
soon.
after that, first of all.
Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely more guests. Next week, we may have an update on the garden. Actually, I am doing a fantastic job in my garden. I have all my seeds planted. They've all sprouted.
Yes.
Yep.
They did.
Yep. I mean, the stuff that doesn't need direct sow, you know what I mean?
Right. Correct. Yes. There's a bunch of little green plants in our dining room.
Yeah.
Yep.
In my little window.
Yep. All right. It's time to go. Time to go find my pizza.
Yeah, I need to go and I need to eat too. I'm hungry.
Yep. Thank you all for watching. Bye-bye.
Well, hold
okay.
on.
Don't.
You
bye-bye.
have to say goodbye.
Bye-bye.
I didn't get
Whoa,
to say
don't go
goodbye.
anywhere.
I
Okay.
to say goodbye.
Your turn.
I did just want to take a moment and thank everybody because, during our highs, we love sharing our highs with you. I think it's equally important to share our lows because we are human, just like you guys. And that connection, if we can make a connection with one of you who's having a tough night tonight or later on, if somebody's watching this weeks from now, months from now, just to see for that person to see all of the other people, because chat, when you go back and rewatch, chat is in real time too. Those people can then see how much support is out there for people with mental health struggles. That's just so important to us and for our community, but for those people who aren't even in our community yet.
Right.
So I just wanted to thank you guys because you guys are endlessly awesome.
And the physical health side, right? Like my brother's story, right? He's like a gym rat pretty much. I don't know if you heard me say that, but he spends a lot of time in the gym and he's done a lot in the exercise sports world.
Mhm.
And it has nothing to do with all that. Like there's something going on there, you got to get it checked out. And of course, I'm the worst one to say that. So I'll try to figure that
Yeah,
out.
you're worse than me when it comes to that
Oh
stuff.
yeah, totally.
And I can tell him until I'm blue in the face. He don't listen to me.
Yeah.
Surprise, shocker.
Yep.
Michelle McKinney actually asked if you can email me questions. Absolutely, email me questions.
Yes. Simon says farms@gmail.com.
Yep.
Right? That's the one you use?
Yeah. So with that said, till next week, we'll start doing some Harper updates as soon as there's updates to be had.
Yeah.
Because right now, the update would just be like,
Nothing.
baby, what baby?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
she has no clue. So once she starts moving in a direction that means we're getting ever so slightly closer, we'll
Yeah.
start doing updates. But until then,
Right.
no news means she's not moving.
She's just Harper. That's it.
Yeah.
And yes. And some people did see Stella's reaction to Time to Go to the Barn this morning on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
The YouTube video this morning, the little short. It's every morning. We got to go to the barn. That's Stella.
Every morning.
Oh, yeah. Now it's time to go.
All right. So
See
take
you later.
care.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.